timing.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
oh,
Oh, the slipstream down to turn one.
yes.
Oh, Max is going to get this. Will Russell get into turn one?
Ah,
No. Oh, there's Max jumping across the curbs.
Lewis and George. Oh,
And Perez. Oh, Russell almost
and
P1. Now down to
Sarah's
P4.
looking very spooky. Oh, P3 now.
Yep.
Go on, Checo. Go on. Oh. Oh, Sarah, you're muted, by the way.
Oh,
Oh, there you go. Oh, son of a- well, this has been quite the start to the race.
I know, right? Oh, right. Now we're actually caught up. We can actually start talking about this properly.
Ooh.
And I owe Koulios and Rose's some drinks. Oh, but Max has really gotten away at the front.
Oh my god, Stroll gained 5 places already. Okay.
Where did he start?
He must have started 20th then,
Oh, that doesn't count. Let's
because
start
he's
again
15th now.
didn't he have the free place good job, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did, so he was going
And
to
he,
start
and he
last.
went out in
regardless.
Q3, so.
Yeah. Oh, Mick is ahead of Magnussen. Okay. They lost 2 positions though. Oh, where's this Valtteri Bottas?
There's a Sprite challenge for everybody.
Oh,
Now onto the Pepsi challenge. Oh, God, I'm asking for pain. This is all payback for the pre-GP, which I couldn't do during it.
oh no.
And yes, Sarah is in the Halloween spirit, and I'm in the Halloween spirit all year round. That's why I look like I do.
Oh, come on, mate. I'm the one that looks like an anchovy. Oh,
A very attractive
the
anchovies,
octopus.
mate.
Sure.
Oh, the Halloween octopus. Nice.
The Halloween octopus. What's the
Right.
other side to it? Come on.
We're professionals around here.
That's awesome.
We're professionals. Right. Verstappen, P1, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Sainz and Leclerc.
Right.
And what was the information, Pedro, that you had for Ferrari for this race?
So Ferrari had to turn down their engine power because they wanted to protect their turbochargers. Obviously, since this track is at a higher altitude,
Yep.
just the fact that the air is less thick just would put more wear onto their turbo, and in consequence, to get some sort of top speeds at the straights, they had to run a setup with less downforce, which is also a problem because the air being less thick, it means that there's just less natural downforce being generated. So let's see how they do, but it's not looking too good for them.
No, it is not. And I think we can see this replay at the start. But unfortunately,
Great
what
start for
happened
Williams.
is what I feared was going to happen. The Mercedes were going to get in each other's way instead
Yeah,
of going after Max.
yeah, that was a really good getaway from Lewis, though. Still, so did George actually. Well, they almost got tangled up here.
Yeah, and George ends up on the curb and then ends
very
up
close.
lighting up his tyres.
Lewis
Yeah.
was like, see ya.
Yeah. So yeah, Max is a literal perfect start, but it is worth saying Max is on the
Yeah.
softs,
It's on the
Russell's on
softs,
mediums. So okay, we're on for a race.
I wonder what's actually going on in the race, though, because we've seen this replay at least 3 times.
Yeah. 3 different perspectives. That's
Oh, Oh, four.
Oh, there she is.
Oh my god, it's
Somebody's
hideous.
watching.
Second.
Oh my god, it's hideous. Oh no, I was looking at my webcam again.
Oh, I thought you would look at mine.
I could do it with either of you two. So, ugh! Oh my lord.
Oh, Sarah,
Oh.
hello?
We got Raticake. Raticake.
Sarah
Arcanine.
Mousy.
No, it's not a mouse.
Yeah, it is a wolf.
Wait,
but
what is that?
from end
It's a
on, it
wolf.
does look like a rat.
It's a bit tight.
Sarah Wolfie?
Yeah, I like that wolfie. Nice. Looking good there, Sarah. Insert joke here about improvements. Yeah, that scowl says it all. Right, to the race. So, 2 Red Bulls are on softs, the 2 Mercs are on mediums. Oh, you two, if you were to place your bets right now, who's looking good for at least... No, we're going to say who's looking good for the win. Out the top 4.
Top 4.
Max.
Probably Max.
Do you know what? I'm going to say if Lewis can stay within 2 seconds of him, I'm going to back Lewis.
Yeah, let me just say, like, him still being that close to Max, it's a really good sign from Mercedes. And Checo is not catching up by much either, and he's on a softer compound, obviously. So
It is true. It's very true. Right, excuse me, I've got to do a can challenge. This is thanks to Roses. So I've just done a Sprite challenge, and I'm doing a can challenge as well.
Oh my god.
It would only be worse if I ate some Mentos as well, wouldn't it?
You know, I do wonder. Oh, do I see some rain droplets? Oh, that camera lens was just had a water drop. Hello. Anonymous. That's anonymous, Sarah.
That is fabulous, Anonymous.
Yes.
That is fabulous. I think we should all...
Even without the mask.
I think we should have probably coordinated this.
I was actually going to ask my parents to bring me like some sort of a sombrero that we have at home, but I forgot.
Sombrero?
Yes. Oh.
It's starting.
You won't be able to stop that.
You okay there? This sounds like when you just have like one of those jars of like, let's say, ketchup or mustard, and you're just trying to get that thing out of the flask. Oh my god.
You're right there.
I'm good now.
Oh my god, I can't.
And that was brought to you by Roses and Gulios. I feel better.
Nice one.
I feel better.
Oh god.
Right. To the race. Back to the professionalism. Oh, that's freaking gone for this one, isn't it? You don't get this kind of content anywhere else. True story.
But you know what? I'd like to hear the opinion, like, from the race so far, from the pumpkin octopus. What does it have to say about it? 'Cause he's been staring at the screen for quite a while now.
Sorry.
So I do wonder what he has to say about it. Oh,
He
sounds
says
very,
it's
very
cute.
happy.
Oh dear, no, that was terrible of me, wasn't it? Uh-oh. Oh, there's more.
Oh wait, there's more.
Exclamation point.
How do you even write that?
It's better than writing. Oh dear. Right.
Oh god.
Got Ricardo on the back
No.
of Zhou. It looks like all the soft runners are not really pulling away from the rest of the field, with the exception of Alonso and Leclerc, but we know the Alpine is not quite a match for the top three teams.
I mean, Alonso is not even on the softs.
This is true as well. Uh-oh.
But even then, like... oh my god, I can't.
I'm not even sorry. I'm not even doing this on purpose anymore.
Oh god.
God forbid I actually lean forwards.
I was gonna say, like, even then, the Ferrari are just not able to catch up to Russell.
Yeah, it's a...
It's...
Do you know what, Sarah? I just looked over at you there and I just saw your mask blink. That's... It's interesting. Oh, Jesus.
Oh god.
I feel good. I feel good.
Oh dear god.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay, it's definitely a little bit less chaos than there was at the beginning of our pre-GP. I think by now we'd already had a safety car or two.
Definitely.
Next time
Come on, Danny.
we do a pre-GP right before the Grand Prix, we will factor in an extra half an hour.
Come on, Danny. He's flying.
Danny up to 12.
Let's go. Oh, Gasly going around the outside. Oh,
Around the
just
outside.
didn't
Round
risk
the
it.
outside, round the outside. Yeah, okay.
Round the outside.
Where's Ocon at the moment? Oh, he's ninth. Okay. Those Alpines are, a pair of them are ahead of the McLaren boys, and that's not what they want for the championship.
Yeah. Especially now, McLaren so far would only score 1 point. Oh, that was close between... Who's that? Stroll and... Yeah, it was Stroll and Gasly. Pretty close between them. Hamilton with the fastest lap. Those mediums,
Okay, so
those mediums are looking good.
yeah. Oh, we got a dented lemur in the chat. Hello, sweetie. So
Hi, Katie.
do we think Verstappen is extending the life of the soft tyre by going a little bit slower, or do we just think that he's already used the best of the soft and now the mediums are taking over for Hamilton? And for Sarah, she says, "Hello, my hot camera muffin."
I don't know if I look on the hot camera muffin today.
You've never looked more appealing.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But hello, my hot camera muffin number 1, 2.
And Katie always goes, "Hello, lovelies."
Hello.
Oh,
How you doing, Katie?
how you doing? No one's going to get that reference.
Oh,
How you
wait,
doing?
Oh!
Fair.
Sarah already got the reference. Nice.
Perez caught up like almost more than a second to Hamilton on this lap.
Ooh. Interesting. I wonder if he's on his full deploy before he goes in to pick up a new set of tyres. Like split strategy for the two Red Bulls.
Because do you reckon that maybe Verstappen is also slowing down a bit so that he can pull Hamilton closer to Checo, perhaps?
Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm not sure in this circumstance.
Because it will just benefit them both, like in the long run, to like,
will.
Verstappen and Perez.
The only problem with that is it will then put Verstappen into pitting territory around about Leclerc through Bottas. So, actually,
That's true,
if
though.
not even lower. Because they're all... Hang on, how far back?
Yeah.
So 2, 4, 6...
think it's 20. No, is it like 30 seconds
Yeah, thereabouts. So it put him out around
to stop?
Danny or might even around Vettel and Stroll at this
Maybe
point.
lower. Yeah.
Yeah. If I were Max, I'd be pushing on a little bit at the moment, trying to get the best out of those soft tyres.
Yeah, Checo is definitely gaining on Lewis now. Max pulled away by like 2/10.
Well, he's kind of got to at this point, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's saying it, Lewis is. I was going to say he was catching him and then went back up again. Do you know what? I really can't call this at the moment because we've still only got Russell, who's only 6 seconds behind Max. So when you look at it though, that's half a second a lap from where he started.
Oh, Gasly's trying to get to the back of Stroll. We'll have VRS, I think. No, he's not opening it. Sliding. Oh, Stroll is complaining about tire grip.
On the mediums, that's a bit worrying. Okay, the one I'm surprised at the moment is Sainz ahead of Leclerc.
Yeah, he's just been generally quicker this weekend.
The last couple of weekends, really. Let's not forget, he did actually earn pole position in Austin.
That's true, actually. Oh, Gasly.
And by the way, Pedro, congratulations on the win for the pre-GP.
Thank you.
All right, so
congratulations to you as well and to everyone who took part in it.
Quite right.
That was a tough one.
I know. I gave you a good race for a change. Just a shame I made the wrong strategy call on the wets.
I'd just love if we got a chance to finish like all of us like in the top 5.
Apologies to you, Sarah, for scaring you off the road, though.
It's right. It was just probably payback for last week, right?
Oh, Gasly!
That's a late move. It wasn't intended to be a payback, but okay, we'll call it even.
I'm joking. Right. I was terrible at that course.
Well, we all have our bogey tracks. Mine was... Where was it? Singapore? Yeah, Singapore. Ooh, hated it.
Mine was... I think it was Colton. He just had no pace there. He just locked up there, Gasly.
Is that a legal manoeuvre?
Will he have to... Yeah, I was wondering. Will he have to give the place back to Stroll?
He has forced him wide. But Gasly did make the corner.
Yeah.
We'll see if they swap back in a minute.
Hamilton's slightly closer to Max, or is it just me? Just need to try and break this stall, okay. I'd love to see the gaps.
Yeah, they seem to have...
between the drivers.
Lewis is looking close, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
1.6.
1.6. And Checo just lost a second again.
Yeah.
More than a second, actually.
And Russell was obviously, relation to Max, dropped back to second too. And Casey said, what lap are we on? We're on lap 14 going into 15 now. Out of 71. So we are about just under a quarter distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we do strategy-wise from here? Does Max go straight onto the hards and go super long on a strategy? Or do we... I won't be surprised if we see Lewis go medium hards as well.
Yeah, that's feasible. What do you think, sir?
Not sure. It's hard to call.
But it's worth saying that Max does not have any fresh soft tyres. Although, from qualifying, they're only going to have done 3 or 4 laps, but no fresh tyres. And Gasly has not given back that place to Stroll.
But
Yeah,
the
and now
caution has been noted.
Noted.
okay.
Noted.
Okay, so I noted I pushed someone off the track. Noted.
Basically.
Right.
Takes notes.
I murdered someone only a little bit. Noted.
Taking notes. Oh, Sarah, hello.
Max fastest lap. Sarah, scariest face. Nice. Where are you finding it? Do you have a box under your desk?
Nah, when I said I was going early after I crashed, as Mum was decorating the house earlier, they were just on the side.
Yoink.
Yoink.
In reality, I think that Sarah's got that magic pocket that the Ryman has, and it's just pulling off like masks from there.
Yeah.
Ah, you got the Doctor Who TARDIS pockets. I got you. and it's nothing useful. It's just scary faces. But I approve. Oh, Max is starting to extend the gap a little bit. 1.9.
Say, I know he's using the RS, but like that Williams looks quick on the straights.
It always is in a low drag scenario. I'm just surprised they're not higher up. I mean, I do think Albon's going to have Stroll soon.
Surely. Oh,
he almost ran to the back of Stroll, didn't he?
oh,
To get out the throttle as well.
oh God.
Katie did similar to me. Dressed up as myself today and tomorrow. How I wake up will be scary enough. Same.
Don't be silly, Katie. Come on.
Yeah, don't be silly, hot camera muffin.
See? Sarah knows it.
Otherwise, Octopus will go from this.
Yeah. Although, Katie did say something really scary the other night. Do you guys want to hear it?
One of them.
Someone sort of half fell asleep when talking to me on Discord. And the
Okay.
exact wording was, "Oh, don't worry, he'll be paralysed in a minute."
Katie?
That's
I mean,
genuinely
compared
what she
to-
said. Sorry, Katie.
Compared to the to the type of stuff we hear during Jackbox sessions, that's not the worst.
Oh, it's not the worst, but it's one of the funniest ones, like out of nowhere. And I had to
Oh,
share
yeah,
that one,
sure.
Katie. That was just too good not to share. The rest will stay between us.
Oh, Sarah? Ooh,
Having a Halloween, not
red
muffin.
velvety
That's like a
cookies.
blood cookie.
I see.
No, it's chocolate orange, and it's literally like it's as orange as this pumpkin, but the light's not really
But
doing much justice.
Making me hungry.
right,
Nothing
so
has changed
Max is
since.
starting to pull away now.
Yeah.
5-second time penalty for Gasly, forcing
Gasly.
another driver
Oh,
off
he's
the track.
really unlucky.
Ooh. Well,
It's 6
Might as
and a
well
half.
rename that 5 seconds for Gasly time.
Ah, Gasly penalty. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, they've got a Gasly. Sounds like caught something, doesn't it?
It does actually.
Ugh, I've got a Gasly.
Oh,
So
Stroll is
impressive.
spitting.
Ugh, I've got a Stroll. So, Stroll on the mediums hasn't gotten as far as Vettel on the softs. That's bizarre.
Oh. Oh, he's going to the softs. Okay, that's
That's a
so
two.
he's probably committing to another 2 stops then, possibly, unless he goes on to the hards.
Yeah, it's a 2 or a 3 stop strategy from Stroll there.
Oh yeah, if he just goes on the softs now, he might be doing a 3 stop altogether.
Yeah, medium.
I mean,
medium soft.
yeah, I'm set with mediums, which already did maybe softs, but I'm not sure if it will last him long, because if the mediums only lasted 18 laps for him.
Hello to Will for joining the channel. Hello.
Hello.
I forgot my avatar's ringing in the background, so we just had a farting chorus. They're still going. We've already had a burping chorus. Why not? Let's have a farting chorus as well.
Ferrari's considering Plan C.
Oh, Plan C. Oh, that's
Already?
an improvement for them.
I was gonna say that's much better than the usual. You go for Plan E, Plan F, Plan D and F.
As in Plan.
Bracket will do.
That's the one.
Oh, Sarah.
Right.
Rar.
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 That's that meme from Captain America, isn't it? Rar. And
Rar.
I was looking on a different screen. I've just seen your face. Whoa. Rar.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, oh god.
Whoa. Okay, moving on. I'm largely scared.
Rar.
Rar.
Sarah, what are your thoughts on the race at the moment?
Rar.
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 I don't know. It's been a bit boring so far. Except for the start. The start was a bit.
Call it as it is.
A bit of action, but no, we haven't seen much yet, really.
We've seen Stroll force off the track. Payback to the bastards. I can see what you're doing there, you know.
Oh, Vettel is catching up to Joe.
Yeah, Vettel's doing tremendously on those soft tyres.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yar. Petra, what's your thoughts on the opening stint so far then?
Well, I mean, there are a few surprises, obviously. Like, I mean, but then again, there weren't many changes on the order so far. Like, yeah, we saw Lewis with a bit of pace at the beginning. He's backed off a bit. Then it looked like Checo was going to catch up to Lewis, but then just went further backwards. I think the only overtake we've actually seen, at least on the broadcast, was Danny Rick on Zhou, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, not necessarily an amazing first bit of the race, but let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it is setting up for something a bit better. It's got to be. I can see you doing that, Sarah. Just going, hum, 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 hum. I'm trying not to pay attention to it. It does seem the setting up for a good end to the race, but
yeah,
what will happen? What will happen?
Hamilton was super close there on that corner. Even with strategies, like, I'm still not too sure what the I choose to do.
It's hard to concentrate, isn't it? At least you're amusing yourself, though, Sarah. Are you happy? Do you need someone to talk to? Do we need to find a helpline for you for your split personality?
What are the thoughts of... What does the octopus think of this race start?
Great start.
Yep.
And then rest of the race so far.
He's feeling a bit green about things, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as we're clear.
Wait, Stroll was the only one who pitted so far. Oh yeah, and Verstappen has got two extra laps on those softs because he used them in quali.
This is true.
So does Checo. Oh, Mick is on 26 lap old softs.
He clearly did a couple of lap attempts of those tyres in
Whoa.
qualifying.
Yeah. Sarah.
I know, it's distracting, isn't it? Next time
And
you
by the way-
stream, I'm going to be redeeming the most annoying things possible. You
I'm
are
gonna
going
stop
to be
it from
singing
doing
I've got
Barbie
a screen
Girl.
to do that.
No, because
Shit,
I
I
have a
didn't think
trick
of
up my sleeve. I have a trick up my sleeve as well.
Oh no.
No roast on Jackbox, okay?
I promise
Yes.
nothing. We have
Oh, Sarah, you know what's gonna happen.
Shit is going to go down. Yes, we have Jackbox following this, and we're all apparently in a really funny mood. So bring it on.
Yes.
All the gloves literally come off, and then we slap each other with them.
Gloves? What gloves?
Metaphorical gloves.
I know, I'm just joking.
I know. And Katie said she can't wait for it. We're going to have to.
Oh yes, Katie, please join us. Oh, Seb. Seb is getting close to Joe.
Oh, she's in the mood for some carnage. This is not going to be good.
Oh no.
Right, are we going to see... what strategy is Max going to do? Is he going to go to mediums after this? Or is it...
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Perez?
Okay, Perez.
I know they should give priority to Max, but it's strange that we are seeing Perez pitting first, considering how good he is on the tires usually. He's going on to the mediums.
Oh, delay, rear left.
Oh no!
You didn't have the tyre ready.
Oh,
I think
no.
the feeling was
5
they were going
seconds.
to try. Yeah, they were going to try and undercut Lewis, but that
Possibly.
has put him at least 8 seconds behind Lewis.
Yeah, that was not good.
It's not that one.
And it hasn't put him behind. It has put him behind the Ferraris. So
Yes.
okay, that's good for Lewis, presuming that the Ferraris aren't easily passed by Perez. So what happened to that rear left? Okay,
They couldn't remove it in time.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That must be so disheartening for the mechanics.
Oh, Vettel. Oof. That was scary.
I didn't see that. Are you watching his on board?
No,
Oh.
I was watching. I'm watching the. I'm not sure if I'm seeing like the same broadcast.
Katie.
Oh, Katie. Hello.
Hang on, I'll have to rearrange it. Oh dear.
Oh, Latifi is pitted. So he's gonna go from last to last.
Okay, so you can come back in and enjoy it if you want. Just once you're in, stay in. Thank you. Right, give me a minute.
Who is this saying that his tires still feel okay? Oh, those Ferrari are nowhere. They just have no pace around here.
Yep, they do not, I'm afraid. Everyone was hoping for a surprise Ferrari victory. They are not going to get it.
And Checo is almost getting 2 seconds to Leclerc. Max should be pinning soon as well. I think they wanted to test out the mediums with Checo.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, that left front look. Oh, that left front is not looking good. Indeed. Lewis is starting to catch up.
Okay,
Oh,
so Max is in.
pitting. Okay. 22 seconds. Come on, they can stuff this up.
Yes, they
There
can.
you go, that looks like a much better.
Okay, so what tires? He's gone on to mediums. Are they going to go the whole
Williams.
rest of the race distance on that though?
No.
I don't think so. Oh, will we still be ahead of... Who is that? Is that Sainz? Yes. Still ahead of Sainz. Check
So
the fastest
Hamilton,
lap.
Russell 1-2. So what do we reckon? Are they going to go? Are they going to go to the hard tyres to the end and hope that
They might try that, to be fair.
I think the question is: are the Red Bulls on a 2-stop or a 1-stop?
I reckon they might be on a 2-stop. You know, because I don't think those mediums will last until the end.
What's that? 45 laps. On the game, they recommended 40 laps for the mediums and 54 for the hards. Obviously, the teams get much more data than what we do for the game.
Yes. Oh, Checo.
Checo's going to be severely held up by Leclerc here. And I have every feeling that Leclerc is going to be annoying as hell to him. I can hear you giggling, Sarah. Leclerc is quick off the last corner, but that Honda-powered Red Bull down the straight is just like, bye.
Oh my god, look at the speed difference.
That was 25 kilometers an hour.
Jesus Christ. I know he's using DRS, but still.
I wouldn't be surprised if Leclerc wasn't finding it too hard, but wow.
Still, yeah.
If you get hit by a car going 25 kilometers an hour, you'd notice. In fact, you'd probably be knocked out.
Let me just check something quickly.
Okay, and the Mexican contingent go nuts.
Ooh.
Kula says 25 kilometers an hour isn't very fast. Alright, I challenge you to be hit by something heavy going 25 kilometers an hour. You want to get out of the way. That's about 18 miles an hour. That would hurt if that hit you.
I won't.
You love your little Halloween little thing there, don't you?
Yeah. I do have a story about it.
Well, I think we've got a few moments.
I won't say it.
Well, you can tell us the story, at least in the gap between this and Jackbox, or during Jackbox. Yeah?
Okay.
Deal.
I'm just checking a few factoids about this track. So
I do love a good factoid, as you well know.
let me just check. So the drivers with the most wins around here are Jim Clark and Max Verstappen. Then with 2 wins, you have Lewis, Nigel Mansell, and Alain Prost. Most wins out of the constructors, you'll actually be shocked by this.
Lotus, McLaren?
Lotus.
Called it!
Lotus. four times. And then with 3, you have McLaren, Williams, Mercedes, and Red Bull. And Ferrari only won twice.
That's really good. I love a good factoid.
Let me see. So McLaren haven't won here since 1989. That was their last win here.
Prost?
Possibly. Let me check. So 89. It was Senna. Yeah. 89.
Okay, McLaren.
Williams 1992 was their last win. I'd assume it was Mansell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Yeah, then you just have Mercedes, who won in 2019 for the last time. Ferrari, the last time they won it was in 1990
Yeah, that would have
with
been.
Alain Prost.
Yeah. Do you know? I genuinely feel sorry for, unfortunately, you two in this respect. But bear with me on this one. I grew up watching some absolute titans of the sport, like Mansell and Prost and whatnot.
Hamilton pitting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, Hamilton
pits.
pitting, yeah.
Yep. Watching Mansell go for an overtake round here on the outside of the thingy Altiolta, whatever it's called, that last corner, on Berger.
Ooh.
Holy cow!
Whoa.
No, yeah, just
The track layout mustn't have changed much, has it?
it is a bit different. I mean, the stadium section wasn't there, but no, seriously,
Okay,
Mansell ran
fair.
the outside of Berger. Holy cow! And just whenever you saw Mansell on track, you're like, what the hell's going to happen?
Lewis has gone to hards.
Okay, Lewis goes to the end then, 41 laps, that's easy.
Yeah. It's an interesting call by Mercedes.
Julio says you're not likely to get injured by a car going 15 miles an hour. Alright, you can stand in front of one, we'll see who comes off better, me or you, not...
Again, I beg to differ on that one. Unfortunately.
Sorry, what was that?
So I beg to differ on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, you've got a history of this one, haven't you?
Ooh. I think I know that one.
Yeah. Okay, Sainz pitted as well. Off the softs. So he's gone a long way on them.
Ooh. Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. And the Ferrari couldn't manage to put the front right on straight.
Oh god, Ferrari messing up pit stops, come on.
But it wasn't as bad as the Red Bull with Perez. So,
Even for Red Bull, it's been uncharacteristic. Like, it's been 2 races in a row since they, 2 races in a row, they messed up one of the pit stops.
true.
Really uncharacteristic from them. Checo with another fastest lap.
So, okay. We're seeing a split in strategy for the two Mercs. Russell's still going. Is he going to go the counter strategy? Is he going to go to softs with 20 laps remaining? Because we've just seen... Oh, Charles. We've just seen some soft tyres go 30 laps into the race.
Well, he might fancy having a go at it, but...
And, yeah, so Cass...
I mean, how much management will you have to do?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry, as Katie just said, yeah, Leclerc has lost it there. Russell's going soft. He's going to go counter strategy.
Oh,
This is going to be... If he's going
that's
to do
interesting.
that does mean Red Bull can probably do the same.
Yes.
Okay. This is going to shape up... This is a strategic race, this one.
Yes.
Not much action, but there's a lot going on around it.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm actually seeing the older layout. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Midnight. I'm actually seeing the older layout for this track, and it just looks... Whoa, what is that?
Yeah, it's a hell of a last corner, isn't it?
It almost looks like it's in some... I mean, I'm not going to say completely symmetrical, but it looks a bit like they just... Yeah, like the new layout looks symmetrical to the older one.
Yeah, it's
Bearing its differences, obviously.
they've kept a lot of the spirit. Okay, Katie is saying, what does the interval mean? Do you mean on the left side of the screen, as is there? As in, we can see Verstappen plus 10. Okay, that's the difference between each driver. So it's 10 seconds from Russell to Verstappen, and it's 6.5 seconds from Verstappen to Hamilton. Difference between them. And sorry, Pedro. Yeah, the old track.
No worries.
Or if you want to have a look at anything while we're waiting for any particular action, check out Mansell, Berger, Mexico, It's either
Okay.
89 or 90, but he was in the Ferrari, so
Okay.
it's a
Oh, it
hell
must
of
have been around there.
yeah.
Wait, constructors with the most wins around here. 5 wins for Honda.
Oh, engine supplier.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously their last win was in 2021, but all the previous ones were like 3 in the 80s. Obviously, must have been like with McLaren, probably. First in 1965. Then with 3 wins, we see Mercedes, Ford, and this brand called Climax.
See what?
I've never heard of before.
Have you just gone onto an 18 plus site by mistake?
I think I'm in Wikipedia, but I'm not too sure now.
I think someone's been editing that.
Coventry Climax, 1962, 63, and 64. Apparently, that's when they won.
Okay. That
Um,
feels like a Wikipedia edit to me, but at the end of the day.
moving on.
Yep. And to
Let me
reply to
actually see if
Katie,
this is.
it says interval at the top because everyone down below that is behind that amount of time from the person above them. Just ignore where it says interval. Just ignore that word.
Oh yeah, they were actually a manufacturer. Actually, oh, they were pretty successful actually.
I've never heard of them.
Coventry Climax. They started in the 60s, like doing engine supplies for Formula One. So they took part in 96 Grand Prix and they got 40 wins, 44 pole positions, 44 fastest laps, 104 podiums, 4 World Drivers' Championship titles. But they went bankrupt in 1986, apparently.
Well,
I've never heard of this brand before.
It's got to be a supplier of engines rather than a manufacturer, because otherwise we would have heard.
Yes.
Of them. Just like the
Oh,
DFV.
yeah, I meant to say engine supplier, not manufacturer.
Russell.
Yeah. Oh, Russell.
Is he going to go for the soft tyres?
Let's see.
Is Sarah going to stay awake?
He is.
I'm awake.
Hard tires. Hard tires,
Go for the
okay.
softs. Oh, that's a shame.
I think he said softs at the end.
Softs at the end. Why?
Yeah, he's not going to pit again, surely.
Yeah, he just can't. Like with the way he's committed to this strat, he just has to go to the end on those tires.
Yeah. Perez is catching Hamilton. He's right up behind
I
him.
noticed that a couple of laps ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Russell just lost a whole bunch of time by staying out for that long, I think.
Yeah. Are we going to see Perez try and get in front of Hamilton and then just slow him down? Are we going to see King tactics from Team Red Bull?
I'm not sure.
And
I mean, it will be...
71. Sorry.
No worries. It would be a bit dirty from Liverpool. I was going to say Liverpool. Why was I going to say Liverpool? From Red Bull to do something like that.
They are they're red-ish. And Manchester United are going... Oh, sorry, that's a different sport.
Had a long week. I was gonna say it would be dirty from Red Bull to make Perez just act as a rear gunner once again at his home race. But
do you think the hard tyres was the wrong choice?
If you stop again, yes.
Yes.
Do these teams have available mediums, like another set, or not?
Let me check that.
Because in my head, seeing how long some of the mediums have gone for, it probably would have been medium, soft.
Yeah, if you're going to go on pace, absolutely.
Let me see.
Oh,
it just seems because Norris has gone on the hards as well, and he's dropped down to 15th.
Oh, Norris, sorry.
Yeah.
I really heard the wrong name there, and then my brain processed it after you said it.
Let's see.
Ocon in
Or-
13th for the hards.
Okay. So wait, they have 2 sets of hard tires, 3 sets of mediums, and 8 sets of softs for the entire weekend.
Okay, so it depends if when they've used them all.
But no,
So
Verstappen doesn't have any more fresh soft tyres.
So I'm
Right.
surprised we haven't seen teams just risking something like going with 2 stints on the mediums and 1 on the softs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, why has Mercedes put them on hard? Because at this rate, Perez is going to overtake Hamilton for sure.
Do you know what I've just noticed?
What?
Alonso and Bottas haven't stopped yet.
No, Alonso. No,
Yeah.
no, Alonso hasn't.
Wait,
Nor has Bottas.
wait, Alonso.
5th and 6th.
Bottas
running ahead
still
of the
hasn't.
Ferraris.
Oh yeah, they still haven't pitted.
And Vettel's still
Yeah.
going on softs as well.
It
Yeah,
is.
Vettel 35 laps on those softs.
Ooh.
That is wow.
And
That is an impressive job. I might be running out of battery soon. Hopefully not.
okay. I've turned the webcams off briefly because we're having problems with Katie jumping in and out of Discord.
Oh, no worries.
That medium tyres come into its own now, and the hard doesn't seem to be able to live with it in terms of pace, Martin.
No, although George Russell's been told to lift and coast to the 150-metre board for the rest of the race, which is perhaps temperature management.
Okay, so, Hamilton, is he going to get passed by Perez?
Yes, I think
Surely.
I'm just
Surely.
super worried for the Mercedes and Hamilton fans. There's
Oh,
loads of them out there.
Hamilton. This tire is not as good as the medium. I mean, it's kind of expected, Lewis.
If I
Oh,
would,
Sainz
if
just
I was
overtook Bottas.
Mercedes, I would have gone medium soft.
Yeah,
If they're going 2 stops, yeah.
yeah, definitely. Because, like, I was gonna say, like, of course they won't lose that time doing an extra pit stop if they go on to the end with these hard tires. But the thing is, will the time that they lose by not pitting be inferior to the one that they lose if they pitted again?
It's all up in the air at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is Max going to go sufficiently faster going to new tyres after a pit stop?
Yeah, he's already 8 seconds ahead of Lewis.
But is he? How much will he lose? 25 seconds in the pits?
I think the graph showed 22 seconds average time lost in the pit lane.
So we'd have to catch 14 seconds and then pass Hamilton.
Possibly, yeah, at this rate, unless he keeps on increasing that gap.
Oh, Carlos.
Easy pass. Bottas didn't even defend that line. It's just the wise thing to do, really. That situation. Lando. Oh, Vettel is pitting now. Oh, okay, that was a decent stop, to be fair.
Finally come in.
Onto the mediums.
To be fair,
He
Oh,
could take them to the end, probably.
I would say he is.
Like, how did he make the soft tires last for 40 laps? No one will ever know.
Seb doing Seb things, apparently.
My God. Oh, Katie's joining. Hi, Katie. Hi, Katie. So the only driver on soft tires at the moment is Stroll. It's strange how he made those softs last longer than his mediums.
So what are we looking? Rudimentary math says 46 laps.
Well, Seb will get those to the end
Puts a bit of pressure on
quite easily. It's just
Oh, definitely.
where is he at the moment? 16th behind. He's only 1.5. He's only 2 seconds behind Stroll. So that's insulting for Stroll.
Danny
Isn't it?
Rick. Yeah.
Is
Danny
Rick
Rick just overtook Bottas.
the Bottas pitted?
Wait, Alonso went past Leclerc. Did I see it right?
I think Sainz has got
No,
past
that might
Alonso
have been
the
an
other way
error
round.
with the graphs. Oh yeah, yeah.
Koulios has asked, but how does Hawko make softs last so long? Skill, mate. You just got to be
Yeah.
super smooth. That's all it is. It's just skill and smoothness. Think like Jensen Button.
Did Bottas just pit for hard tires?
I'm not too sure.
What?
What?
He was on the mediums anyway. Yeah, I thought it was on
Magnussen
the
just
softs.
went to the softs.
That
Magnussen
Ferrari
went to the
noise.
soft. We're watching the onboard with signs.
The replay, yeah. That car.
Yeah, what is going on? Like, they just placed the mic in such a weird spot, probably. Oh, Alonso, 3-second pit stop.
Nice. I think he was literally.
He's going to
Yeah, he
the
was hoping
hards.
for a safety car. I'm surprised we're not seeing more drivers
Yeah.
try the softs, but did you say K-Mag has tried them? No, he is on the soft, isn't he?
So
He
now
pitted
Bottas went
the
strong.
previous lap, I think. Alonso went to the hards, though. That's...
Oh! Ocon running outside the Bottas.
Whoa. Nice move there.
Bottas about to do the switcheroo.
Yeah, no.
Maybe, no,
That's a nice move.
tried it.
Cracking move there from Ocon. Stroll and Gasly are in.
Oh, but it's not over yet. Bottas might still go for a move. Oh,
He's trying to come
just
back.
looking good.
Oh, Gasly served his Gasly as well. Okay. At the front, Hamilton is falling away from Max, so that to me says Max is going for a second stop. That was cracking.
Surely. It's a really nice move.
I can't help thinking that those Alfa Romeo wheels do look like sweets when they're going round. Every time I see them.
I'm not happy with this tyre. Sliding around a lot.
Oh,
Russell's not liking the hards, nor Hamilton.
This tyre isn't good, mate.
Yeah, they're all complaining about the hard.
The medium, so some may struggle to get the end on that.
Do we think Max might try and go to the end on the mediums? He can't, can he? Surely not.
surely not. If he wanted to do that, like, he just pitted way too early.
Yeah.
Let me say, Danny Rick is on. Danny Rick and Joe are the only ones that are currently using the same tires that they started the race with. So they both done 41 laps on the mediums.
It's a bit different to 50 something though, isn't it? Either way, Danny Rick and Joe are definitely goal hanging, waiting for a safety car. It's worth saying, we've still got all drivers still going at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Despite Setera trying to scare them all off the track. What is the news from the pumpkin squid?
Not much. He's just enjoying the race, I think.
Just chilling.
Just chilling, yeah.
That's her.
Has a smile on his face.
Yeah, but
He must be enjoying.
he can't complain. He's watching the F1.
Oh, okay.
It's not looking too good for Norris at the moment, is it?
Yeah, definitely. He's let me see what tires does he have at the moment.
Thank you,
How old are the
Xander.
tires he has currently? Just check that. So he's currently on 11 lap old hard tires. Bottas 3 lap old tires and Ocon 9 lap old hard tires. Yeah, it's gonna be a tricky one for him. Excuse me.
You know, we were talking about Perez passing Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really any closer to him.
Yeah. He did pit earlier than Max. Do you reckon that he's still saving up some tires? But then again, like I just don't think they'll be able to go to the end on that set. Just considering how early they both pitted.
I don't want to say that they can't make it to the end because they're going to prove us wrong if we say that. But that said, if they've got to pit again, Verstappen will have to pass Russell and Hamilton. I wouldn't be too surprised if Mercedes hand Verstappen back a favour from Abu Dhabi last year and use Russell as a blocker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all he's got to do is go half speed around some of these corners. Theoretically. Not that I would condone such team sportery shenanigans, but I think they should do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Then Rick is going to pit. Yeah, he's pitting this lap.
Yeah, that's goal hanging over. So that leaves Joe as the only one who hasn't pitted.
Let's see. He's gonna go to the softs.
Danny's the softs. Okay, so he's the only one with the guts to try it.
Let's see.
Because Danny's also been lapped, so it doesn't matter too much.
To be fair, quite a considerable amount of the cars have been lapped already.
Joe's just been passed by Ocon and Bottas in the same corner.
Yeah, those tires are really
dead.
Not good. Wait, so from Norris downwards, yeah, all those drivers have been lapped. So.
Including Norris. Oh, wow.
No, sorry. I meant to say
downwards.
From Sonoda downwards, yeah.
It really does show the lack of pace for McLaren, doesn't it? Compared to earlier in the year.
Yeah.
I mean, look, come on, those wheels on the Alfa Romeo do look like a combination of loading times and sweeps. Next time we look at it, just it's not what we need to be watching, but it looks like the Alfa's constantly loading. See?
You're making me want to eat sweets, even though I don't have any at home.
My bad. Ooh, I've got biscuits around here somewhere. Where did I put them?
You're mean. You're mean.
Oh, come on. I had to down a Sprite and a can of Pepsi right at the beginning of this thing. People have been mean to me. It's my turn.
What are you thinking about all this, Sarah?
Yeah, still waiting if the Haas are the right idea. For some of the teams.
I get the sense you're not...
Like you say, the gap hasn't fallen, but it hasn't really got any bigger since we last spoke about it. But Hamilton is definitely dropping from Verstappen. So
the on-track action for the top 6 hasn't materialised, has it?
No. And we've only really seen these guys fight Bottas and Ocon for the last however many laps. Apart from that, we've not really seen a lot of action.
No. And the two Ferraris are 4 seconds apart, not doing very much for each other. Alonso and Ocon doing their thing, going to the end. Well, Norris is not going to be happy to just squeak a final point. Oh, Joe has finally pitted, by the way. He's gone to the softs.
Thank God for that. Those tires weren't looking good.
No.
48 laps on them. That's pretty impressive.
Mm. Do you know one thing I miss from like the early teens Formula One? It's when the cars went off the tyre cliff. Do you remember they would literally just drop off in performance, wouldn't they? It's like the tyres are fine, they're fine, whom, and it goes through the floor. These tyres just seem to just go on for forever.
Yeah, just some of these tires just seem to go a lot longer than what's expected. So, what do you reckon that they'll do with the tires for next year? Because obviously this weekend we had some testing going on. What do you guys reckon that they'll do?
They did say they wanted to make the harder tyre a bit quicker.
Ooh, okay.
To me, that just means that the default tyre will become the hard tyre on top races.
True.
Sarah?
Yeah, no, I agree with you now.
It's
I agree with what you said.
It's a bit of a sad set of affairs when they say, let's make the hard tyre even faster. The
Yeah.
teams don't want to pit as it is. They'll just go for the tyre that will last the longest at a reasonable speed. Oh dear. Those Ferraris really are absolutely nowhere.
No.
That's so far from where we saw the Ferraris at the beginning of the year.
Still having dropouts in power, Hamilton.
Well, he's not falling away from Max. If anything, he's catching Max now. But Max
Keep
did
it.
say he had a similar thing earlier on.
Did we hear that Sky F1 won't be, Hamilton won't be taking any questions or interviews with Sky F1 due to
Wasn't
Kravitz
it Max?
making the comments.
Yeah,
Wasn't it Max?
it was Max.
Max and Red Bull, yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, can do it. I believe it was last week, wasn't it? Or previous discussions. Ted Kravitz said basically Max didn't deserve the 2 world championships that he's won because he hasn't won them properly. He's won them under obviously we know the cost cap last year. So technically, like I agree. I've got to be honest, I agree a little bit. But it's like he's not won them in a normal way. But Ted just said it out loud and was kind of talking about Hamilton as well, about how obviously he hasn't won a race yet and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously Red Bull and Max got a wind of it and went, right, then we won't talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a feeling there'll be a very forced apology from Ted to Max and to Red Bull from Sky.
Yeah.
That's not going to go down too well. They can't
Apparently-
not interview the current champion.
Yeah. Apparently it hasn't been the first time he did something of the sort. Oof.
Well, you know what
Are
Ted's like, though. He
defending.
will put his foot in his mouth a few times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Sonoda versus Ricardo.
Ooh,
Sonoda on the
Go on, Danny.
mediums. Danny on the super softs, as it were.
soft. Go on, Danny.
Is he going to drop it?
Ooh.
Oh, that's gonna be tears. Tears.
Oh no! Oh no!
Is
What
Sonoda out?
happened?
Is Sonoda out? Safety car. And
Oh,
if he stops, no, he's keeping going.
No.
He's,
Ooh, he lost a bit of.
he's going to keep going. If he were to stop, that is Max won the race easily.
Oh, this. Danny's gonna get a penalty, surely.
I don't think that was Danny's fault.
Well, they're both probably a little bit to blame.
Yeah.
Danny was going in the inside. Sonoda's gone for the wide line, but then turned in at the last moment.
Yeah.
Did he lose a bit of a side pod?
He lost something.
Because I can't see on the front anything on the front wing necessarily.
Sonoda did lose some of the side skirting, so his underfloor is going to be horrid.
Oh, that's not going to be good.
Possible retirement, maybe?
There's no point carrying on.
Yeah. Let's see what
But
they
if
do.
there was a safety car, would have Max definitely won it? Because then I'm guessing Hamilton could then have come back in for softs.
Yeah. Well, I think Max has got the speed in hand.
Wait, is he actually front wing?
They can't get it off, though.
What?
They've changed their minds, it looks like. It looks like they're not taking it off. Now they're retiring it.
Oh, yeah.
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 Okay, we're going to see this again. I don't
Let's
think
see.
Danny did anything wrong here. He's got down the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't look as good, does it?
That was.
Oh, that angle
I
does
mean-
not look as good. And from this angle, it looks like Danny was alongside. At least a
yeah.
third of the car.
I mean, then again, Tsunoda could have probably left a bit more room, but then again, he wasn't necessarily like supposed to do it. It was a bit overambitious from Daniel and a bit.
Yeah, I'm not.
So, was he looking in his mirrors?
I don't.
Not
think-
sure.
Well, yeah. You
Let
can
me
see
actually
damage
go
on
on
the
his
side
onboard.
pod there.
You'd
me
think
go
you
on-
would have
look at
seen
some-
Danny there.
Well, you would have known it's Danny. He's going to go for it.
Let me check his onboard.
No, Lewis, we think we're on the right tyre. We're going to get to the end on this, no sweat.
No sweat.
Bono, my tyres are slow.
Dead.
Okay, so
Nice.
is the drop off on the mediums going to be severe enough for Hamilton to catch Max? Or is Max just going to come in and blitz the field?
I mean,
I mean,
those
I
softs
guess
are
it
gonna
depends.
race.
Like you say, can Max maybe take the mediums to the end? I'm not sure. But then he does. Usually he does it on the softs, but he can usually extend his stint on the tyres he's on.
Oh,
Hmm.
if
I'm
I-
not sure.
at this-
He did pit quite early though, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
I,
So you'd think that he'd need to stop again.
yeah. I think at this point, he's going to go to the end. It's only 17 laps to the end. If I were Red Bull, I would have pitted a couple of laps ago on the softs. And will Danny get a penalty for that incident? What do we think?
Potentially.
He might do.
maybe.
I'm just gonna have to turn off my camera for a bit because I need to find the charger for my phone.
Okay.
Not that it won't be appreciated that I turn my camera off at this point, but wait, okay. So Joe was in a bit of a scrap there.
So those mediums have only done 28 laps. They
Danny
could
Ricciardo,
possibly go
10
in
seconds.
10 seconds.
He's got a double Gasly.
Double gasoline. No.
Valtteri Bottas had a slow lap about a few laps ago, and now he's fallen to within a second of Lando Norris. Lando was quite close to him. Lando's now dropped back a bit, but yeah, having spin past.
10-second time penalty for that. I kind of feel that's a bit harsh on Danny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think okay, we had in the last race Russell take out Sainz, and that was a 5-second penalty.
True.
No, do you know what? I don't agree with that.
Yeah, like the move was kind of on. Maybe then it was
ambitious.
a bit too ambitious.
But either one could have given room,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I mean, he was alongside enough to warrant an extra couple of inches worth of room.
Absolutely.
Well, it looked very awkward going into the first bend there. Because it was like he was alongside, and then Tsunoda turned in, so they interlocked the wheels. And then
Off he flies.
they both wanted to go again for the fly on the second corner.
Yeah.
And then that's when they clipped again. It's almost like if Tsunoda would have known that something's about to happen, just slightly move over or take the wider line.
Yeah. It's like, you know, if you've got K-Mag, Ricardo or Verstappen behind you, you've got to look in your mirrors.
Yeah. But you sound like you're in a very windy tunnel there, Pedro.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a gale there.
Just because like I can't connect my earphones again. How can I do this?
So will Vettel catch up to Gasly? That's my question. I think Vettel's probably falling backwards for Zhou's going to pass him, isn't he? Do you know what? I'm impressed by Zhou this year. He hasn't done anything tremendously silly. I think he had one incident.
Yeah, he's been unfortunate.
I think he had an incident at the Imola sprint, and that's about all I've seen him do wrong all year.
Mhm. Yeah. Could potentially be out of the seat if Audi were in Sauber next year.
It will be at the end of 23.
Oh yeah, 24. Sorry. Could be out of the seat at 24 then.
I keep forgetting what year I'm in as well.
Do you still hear that sound, or
No.
is it better?
All good now.
Okay. Yeah, it's just because it was like laying like right in the middle of the screen of my laptop, so obviously the fan there must have been doing some noise.
That's what I'm saying. It just sounded like you were in a very windy tunnel there.
Kuno says he keeps forgetting his age. All I can say is listen to Blink 182. What's my age? And or you've not got enough years on you to forget your age. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
They say you're only as young as you feel, and I feel about 82.
or the person you're feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Use your own imagination for that one.
Mm.
Do you know what? I think Max is going to go to the end.
Yeah.
It might be, to be fair.
Will Perez go to the end though?
He's only got an extra lap on him.
Hmm.
Yeah. 2 laps actually.
Alright, shut up.
Oh, Danny is going for a move on Bottas.
When did he get past Norris? When did that happen?
Oh yeah.
Good question. Good question, actually.
And he's got a double Gasly to worry about, so people can just let him through.
Yeah.
Ooh, sounds like that McLaren is bouncing off the limiter.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a really fast first sector.
It's really fired him up, hasn't it? Fired him up a treat. So Daniel flying along.
I think it was the quickest so far out of all the previous laps.
Might see Danny get up to 7th in this, but he's still got to serve that double Gasly penalty. For those that want to know, a Gasly is a 5-second penalty.
Largest gap this season between.
And it was same lap time.
Well,
He's been running in free air.
what's Hamilton saying?
He's having to lap a few.
And Kyrgios gets the random point of the stream. Nice one, mate.
6 months ago, Charles
I wish we could invest stocks in GTA Online. Thanks, mate.
Carlos Sainz
Keeping it relevant.
Wasn't that a thing? Wasn't that a thing a few years back?
believe
You can
so.
do it in story mode. You can't do it in online,
Oh, online you can't. Okay.
unfortunately. Otherwise, you'd be making stonks.
Stonks. I've heard that twice today because of you two.
Oh, Joe,
Joe
what a
said,
move on that! What a move!
What a move!
Around the outside.
During our pre-GP, I did this exact move like 2 or 3 times in one lap, well, in several laps. It's nice. It's a good little passing opportunity down there.
Yeah.
I had loads of fun in the pre-GP, passing people in weird places. Sorry, Sarah.
All good.
You'll get him back, sir. You'll get him back.
Get me back.
Don't
It's
worry.
freaking even now. I'm never going to forget Austin. You know that, right?
Well, I'm never going to forget here.
Good. Well, you spun yourself. So
No, I'm joking.
Boom.
I'm joking.
Take that.
right, 11 laps to go. Yeah, Max is going to the end. It's that simple.
Hmm. No.
If anything, I think Hamilton's falling away from Max a bit more now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's behind. Is that Alonso by chance?
Why?
Or is that Ocon?
Not sure.
I can't tell who's who in those.
Are you talking about Danny Rick?
No.
No. Hamilton.
Whoever's-
It's passing
Oh, that was Alonso. Oh, shocker.
But surely blue flags would have been out, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Do you remember
Yeah,
the
there
spat?
are.
The spat between Ocon and Hamilton in on Twitter this week? I wouldn't be surprised that's Alonso just being a pain in the arse.
Yeah, that was savage.
To be fair, I don't know in which context Alonso said what he said, but
No, but
yeah, that
even
was a
so,
savage
like,
response.
Hamilton doesn't usually respond to stuff like that. And for him to put that picture up with a thumbs up, it was like, oh.
It's quite funny though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So here we go.
Oh, that medium looks quick. They're going to go to the end. Ambitious.
It's only 10 laps to go.
10 laps, yeah.
If they were going to
There's no
stop,
point
they would have done it
stopping
by
now.
now. There's lots of action going on in the mid-pack. Danny down the inside of Ocon.
Okay.
Danny is absolutely on fire today. He's going to get Alonso into the
He
next
might-
corner.
He might take Ocon as well. There
Yes.
he goes, from the
Yeah,
outside.
took Alonso.
Ooh.
Yeah, Alonso's a lot harder to pass than Esteban.
No, it's the other way
no,
around.
whoa,
He's
whoa,
going
whoa, whoa.
behind. He's behind Ocon at the moment.
Oh, he is actually, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
have they swapped
Who's the
over?
other way around a second ago, I swear.
They
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, they did. They did in the straight. Which is
On
strange,
the
considering that
graphic,
Alonso is
I
on.
swear
Yeah,
it said the other way round.
yeah, well, that's weird. I'm
It
sure
was.
those Alpines are swapped.
Yeah, they swapped
When
on
I
the
last
straights.
looked, it was Alonso, Danny Rick, and then Ocon, and then all of a sudden it switched. It's like, whoa.
Alonso's on the radio.
Oh, unbelievable. Oh my god. He's had enough.
What is Alonso? I think he, yeah,
Probably
he must
the hard tyres.
Bad luck, possibly,
be, he's
as per usual.
He's got to have a
He's
technical.
gonna have to move for Russell as well now.
Okay, here
Look
comes
at how
Danny.
much he's dropping. Look at how much time he's losing now.
Yeah, Alonso's got an issue.
Even with DRS, he wasn't being able to catch up to both of them. And Danny Rick has made his move on Ocon.
Yeah. So is Danny going to be able to get 10 seconds in 9 laps on Ocon to retain his position? Ooh.
Where would 10 seconds currently drop him? It would be out of the points, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly ahead of Albon. Possibly ahead of Albon. Just slightly.
He needs to put his foot down and try and build a gap.
Oof. He just slid for that chicane.
He's definitely pushing.
And it was actually a good thing that Russell was there because he's just going to give Danny some more breathing room.
Go, Danny, go!
Go, Danny. Go, go, go. No.
You know what? I'm finding it hard to believe. Like, it's like 7 laps to the end, 8 laps to the end. Not too sure because I'm watching an onboard at the moment. Who would you guys consider to be the driver of the day so far?
Oh!
Because I'm finding it hard to find one.
I'm thinking, despite the incident, possibly Danny, if not simply Max, just for being, quite frankly, above the rest.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Maybe Zhou might be in contention, maybe?
Yeah? I hear you.
Just because he's not done anything wrong. We've seen a couple of good overtakes from him. But then again, nothing special. So I'm not too sure.
No, it's been such a weird race in general.
Perez has dropped off massively.
He has. Okay, Coolio says...
Well, Max's tyres also drop off. Please.
Ooh, Ocon has massively dropped off now. He's almost 4 seconds behind Danny.
What?
Nice. So 4,
Yes.
5, 6. Probably 7, 8 for Bottas and Norris. He could be still, maybe.
He could still finish in the points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just needs to push now. As
Push,
much as he
push.
can. Let's see. You were gonna say something, Mr. Midnight, sorry.
I've forgotten what it was already.
Wasn't it something about Kulios? I think I heard you mention something.
Yes. He just said, if YouTube were to create its own streaming platform, i.e. YouTube streams, would you swap over to YouTube? 1, YouTube is a streaming platform. 2, no, not really.
That's an interesting point, you know, because some of them are considering doing the switch to YouTube, but
I don't know. I suppose it's what you really want it for. If you already got like a YouTube
viewership.
following, like
Yeah.
you post lots of videos, and you've probably got the same amount of subscribers than you have on Twitch and stuff like that. Then it makes sense to just go over. But like for people like us, Twitch is supposed to be designed for people like us that just want to play games and do stuff like this. And, I consider Twitch more for like gaming, and then YouTube for more like life stuff.
And just content in general.
Just content, yeah, like pre-planned content.
Yeah.
Oh, Alonso is
Alonso.
retiring.
Oh, are we going to see a safety car?
Well, that would ruin Danny right now.
Oh, God, would it ever? Yeah, that's at least a VSC.
And Alonso was saying, "What a season!" That's what he was complaining about. He's had enough of it.
VSC.
Wow.
So, okay, I don't think we're going to see Max pit.
Oh. You
If I was
know,
the
he
top three,
could.
I wouldn't pit.
I've,
You might see Russell pit for soft, maybe.
yeah, I think so.
Because
You
he's
know
got
what?
enough gap between him and Sainz.
Yeah, I was gonna say Max is 17 seconds ahead of Hamilton, and on this graph it's saying that you only lose 15 seconds.
When did it go from like 12 to 17?
It depends when they go through the timing beams with the VSC, so it will go up and
Yes.
down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they've managed to do it with just under VSC, so that's going to be a very quick VSC. Oh, George Russell didn't pit. That's weird.
I would have maybe there.
Oh, that engine's blown up properly.
Yep.
And
It's cooking.
Kudo said, YouTube has its own algorithm, but so it's harder to grow via streaming on YouTube than it is on Twitch. Yes, and that's part of the reason why.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Alonso is mad.
Yeah, he's annoyed. Problem is, he's quite a shorty, so it's kind of like angry short man syndrome. I do feel quite sorry for him though, because he's driven his heart out again.
Do you think that the move to Aston is a bit questionable?
Yes.
Considering about where Aston are performing right now.
Yes.
I was like, why?
It wouldn't be Alonso if he didn't make a questionable decision, to be.
True.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, simply put. Yeah, simply put, you're dead right. It wouldn't be Alonso if he didn't make a questionable decision to change teams.
But then again, he might be seeing something that we might not know about, because obviously Aston was investing in a new wind tunnel as well, if I'm not mistaken.
True.
And other facilities, so they didn't look that bad in certain races.
True.
Like Kota, like last race, they were looking pretty good in both ends. With a race pace looking better than quali pace, but still.
Yeah. I think on the trying to be balanced at the argument, I think in 3 or 4 years it would have been a good decision if Alonso was still going. But as it is, no, I think it's not the greatest choice.
Yeah. Then again, if there's anyone that can extract performance out of the tractor, that's him.
Quite right.
It's just a shame. Like, I'd love to see him having another shot at one of the top teams and see how he performed.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Because I genuinely believe, because I genuinely believe he'd still be capable of pulling off something magical.
Do you know what really intrigued me though is the video you sent me, Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
That intrigued me a lot.
Which one was that?
About Alonso.
I can't remember.
Yeah, with the crash.
That crash.
When he crashed and then he forgot how old he was and
2015.
I can't remember exactly where he was. But that he's not really said anything about it. That intrigues me. I wonder if he will ever talk about it.
Yeah, that is one of those
I was
Formula
left
1
with
unknowns.
so many questions. I was like...
Yeah. And there's so much footage that doesn't exist from
Exactly.
it. And it was never really explained. A strong gust of wind? No, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. Anywho, that's conspiracy theories, which may turn out to be correct in the long run, but we don't have the information. Albon on the skirts of the points at the moment. Sorry.
Saying that, Lenny Rick is almost 9 seconds ahead. He was briefly 9 seconds ahead of Ocon, so might be able to pull off that second gap he needs.
Yeah, so that is a cracking result for Danny.
Yes.
Where did he start? 11th, 12th?
Let me check.
He didn't go out in Q3.
No, he went out in Q1.
Q2.
Q2.
Wait, what? What? Oh yeah. He started in P11.
To be honest, I thought he started further back.
Same, to be fair.
We haven't actually.
Albon is doing a cracking drive. Sorry.
He really is. I hope he actually gets Bottas. I mean, I think Bottas deserves a point for today, but I think Albon does too. So, if only they could share points. Although Gasly's gonna get past Albon.
There he goes.
So that's not going to happen.
Well, this is good for Bottas.
Danny's 9.9 ahead of Ocon, so that's going to happen.
Go on, Danny. He deserves a good weekend as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's so many shouts for great drives today.
Yeah.
But is he driver of the day worthy? Because obviously he was involved in that.
I think we'll get to that.
Whatever you call it. With Tsunoda.
If we were going to use the old Jeremy Clarkson adage, it'd be a fracas.
Yeah.
Have you opened the poll for driver of the day, Mr.
I was about to do it exactly then, so you've caught me on that one. I haven't quite done it. I was literally doing it that second.
Russell is pitting.
Yeah, softs.
He's got a big enough gap. He wasn't catching Perez anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the vote for driver of the day is open.
Okay.
So feel free, everybody.
Would you be able to send it to me
No,
after the race?
I've done it.
Thanks.
I'm just trying to find people.
I'm not sure if my camera went off or not. Oh,
It did.
I couldn't open the form, Mr. Midnight. It says that it's no longer possible to fill the form.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Now it is. I didn't click the right thing.
Okay. Oh, there it is. To be fair, I'm a bit divided.
Well, either way, Max is now taking the record for the most amount of wins in a season. I think it's just absolutely nuts. It really is.
It's almost like too easy for him.
Yeah. I mean, he's gone on the wrong strategy and he's made it work.
Yeah.
And Mercedes, who thought they were on the right strategy, is in my opinion, we're on the wrong strategy for them. Again, could it have been a race that he could have won if he was on the mediums as well?
In my opinion, no.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, that race, that winning pace isn't there yet in that Mercedes.
Yeah. I
Podium worthy, but not.
Yeah.
It's not winning.
Yeah. I don't think the Mercedes is as good on tyre wear as the Red Bull.
Don't worry, I think Toto will spend a bit more money next year.
I will spend about another 4 billion more.
Yeah.
There he is.
You know, you cannot doubt how dominant Verstappen is with that Red Bull.
Yeah.
But it is good to see we did have a tactical race for the win, even if it hasn't come across for the Mercedes.
Yeah.
And we've got Perez on the podium, so the Mexican's going to be very happy there.
Yeah.
But we do need Mercedes and Ferrari to pick up their pace half a second a lap still.
Ferrari was nowhere today.
They need a second a lap compared for this race.
Wait, did Russell not get the fastest lap? Oh, he's still finishing.
He's still out on the track.
Well, okay.
Oh, I think Perez still has it.
Wait, the graph didn't show that.
Yeah, the graph's doing a bit something funky at the moment because it says Perez hasn't finished,
Wow.
Russell has.
Wow, 14 wins in a season. That's incredible.
It's good to see Mansell still in the top 5 though.
Yes.
I saw a
Can Max just at Abu Dhabi just let Seb and Danny Rick on the podium? Just make it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'd love to see Seb win at Abu Dhabi. They should all just let Seb go through and win the race.
Or do what we do, just retire from the race.
They all retire.
dreaming,
They
you
all
two.
retire. They all retired in the formation lap, and Seb would win.
Woo.
Keep on dreaming.
You never know. Maybe.
I think we do know.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, there's some random wins over the years. I mean, the Racing Point in Bahrain, the Outer Circuit in 2019 or 2020. But that's the most
2020, yeah.
random one we've had for a decades almost. Saying it, we had Gasly at Monza, Danny Rick at Monza.
Mhm.
But I would argue the Racing Point at Bahrain was more random than the other two.
Russell got the fastest lap.
Good.
He did, yeah.
Do you know what? I do love this when they do this ceremony inside the stadium section.
Yes.
I like this
It's a
theme.
mariachi song.
Mariachi F1.
Yes, love it. That helmet from Max looks beautiful, by the way.
It does. I'm still going to be a pain in the ass. I really do wish they'd have more of a standard helmet so we could see them and identify them at a distance.
Mhm.
But, you know. In fact, those cars look quick even when they're sitting still, don't they? They really do. Just all those curves and that side pods. I think that the Mercedes actually looks butt ugly, but it's not that slow, is it?
No.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did prefer the Mercedes when it was
Oh,
all
wow.
black. I think it looked mean.
Mean.
Don't give you that. Fair of you. I personally prefer the silver Mercedes. However, it was a nice change. Driver of the day, Danny Ricciardo, 24% in the official but less meaningful driver.
Do we know that he kept the position or not? I for the last few laps I didn't see one.
He was
Yeah,
over 10 seconds.
he had over it. He was. Let me see where how big of a gap he had. He finished.
Bruce is like, get off me. Did you see that? He was like, give me a second.
Papa Perez coming in with the vibes like, my son, you're not going anywhere.
That's 2 years in a row though he's been on the podium here, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only 2 times so far.
He's got 1 more year of his Red Bull contract, isn't he? Or was it 2 years?
Yes.
It's a year
Can't
or 2.
remember
Isn't it?
now. Let me see. But he never really had that much luck around here, like previously.
Well, Bottas, did you say?
No, Perez.
I thought you said Bottas. Right, excuse me.
2024, that is. For Perez, his contract finishes at 2024.
For 2 more years.
Yeah. And I think they renewed the contract to keep Mexico in the calendar until 2025, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Snap.
Snap.
You've got to learn something like this. Have you ever watched 22 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Remember that?
There's the twins in it. You've got the twins in it, and they're like, snap, buy me a Coke. And then they keep going and doing the same lines all the time. They end up, I think, jinxing each other in the end.
And finally, Max, I don't know how much you look into numbers, how much
Oh, let me check something
world champion, and now you are the first
very quickly.
to win 14 Grand Prix in
So,
How do you feel about that? Yeah, it's been an
most
incredible year
wins
so
per
far.
season.
Yeah, we are definitely
So,
enjoying it. And
aside from mechanical failures,
thanks.
I mean, let's face it, Leclerc's beaten him 2 or 3 times this year. Other than that, nobody's beaten Max all year long, have they?
Mm.
Yeah.
And it is unreal, the pace in that Red Bull. And going that amount of time on the mediums.
Second place.
Yes.
Pushing all the way. You were pushing Max. You were pushing Max at the beginning of the race. Did you think at some point that you could win that race? Yeah. Well, first, this has been an amazing crowd, and
The first things. Always, this
The
is.
best fans are here.
booze all day.
Hmm.
But nonetheless, I have so much love for Mexico and for the people here. And
You know that you can say that at every track, do you, Lewis?
Yeah.
I was so patient, I think, in that first stint, but I think the Red Bulls just clearly too fast today, and ultimately maybe they had the better.
The sound sinks out a bit with the lips and the whatnot.
About the tires, about the strategy. You tried the hard compound. We could hear
Hmm?
on the radio.
Oh, President Sun's there.
What was the problem? Do you think the hard
Well,
was the right tire at that moment of the race? Yeah, I'm not sure it was the right tire at the end. I thought we should have started on the soft, but obviously we had the opposite tire. It was okay.
Papa Perez there with a smile on his face, looking, as always, super proud of his son.
It's great to be up here and separate the two. Still well done. You kept the pressure.
So,
It's in the Red Bull has been different, though, hasn't it? Like, I think, if I'm right, he's performed a lot better.
I mean, he's
Especially this season.
Consistency-wise, a lot better.
oh, definitely.
Especially this season. He's been on the top places a lot more. And even during qualifying, he's been a lot better than last season, for sure.
Yeah. He did have a slump right after his win at Monaco.
Yes.
But in the last third of the season, he's been a lot stronger than that slump.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, it's probably his strongest season ever. And where did he win? He won in Monaco. Did he win Baku this year?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's got a couple of wins this year.
I'm not sure if it was this year or last year. I think it was last year.
Didn't he win another race?
Because that's when Bahrain.
No,
Ooh.
Singapore, wasn't it?
Singapore.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was Singapore. You were right. It was the other street
Singapore,
circuit.
yeah.
But A1 PRN has a very controversial point, and I'll let you two weigh in on this. Cheetahs won again.
I mean, he's not wrong to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Has it been thingy that they've gone over the cost cap this year as well? Was it just last year?
Last year. 2021.
But obviously, that put them in a good thingy for this year, didn't it?
Not. I mean, not necessarily.
They've gone over last year, and it's been admitted and it's been agreed, and they've been given a 10% reduction in wind time development for next year, as well as a $5 million fine or $7 million fine.
Seven.
Yeah.
Which, let's face it, for Red Bull is nothing when they're worth several.
I was going to say
billion
it's like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
The financial is nothing, absolutely nothing.
And even the 10% aero development.
That would probably just make the racing a bit closer, if anything. Like, give the other teams a chance to develop their cars. The Red Bull next year will probably be just as fast as it is this year.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a bit more exciting races where the other teams are able to keep up a little bit and challenge for the wins.
I think
So it wouldn't hurt them that much.
The only way we'd see Red Bull financially penalised if they took it off the budget for this year and next year.
Yes.
Not fine them, fine them, yes, but take it out of the budget as well.
As well, yeah. Yeah.
But even then, we overspent.
Yeah.
Just see this keep rolling.
My God, you almost have 700 points on the constructors. Like, how crazy is that?
Massively.
how many races have we got left? 2? 3?
Yeah,
Sao
wait, we
Paulo
have
and
Brazil,
Abu Dhabi.
Abu
2.
Dhabi. Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah.
So there's about a 40-point difference between Mercedes and Ferrari.
Ooh.
That too big of a gap to
No.
close?
No, I think they're going to do it, you know. I think they will do it. Danny did win official driver of the day, but that we don't care about that
Yes.
one. You can vote for our driver of the day with exclamation point DOTD. And as A1 says, 2021's car building affects this year and next year's car because they are carry-over cars. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I felt it was like I heard or saw something when I was reading it that obviously they overspent last year, but it gives them a kind of like a foot into this year. That's why I wondered if they overspent this year as well. And I was a bit like, but I do agree in a way that last year they did technically cheat to win anyway. And I think we can all agree that technically they cheated to win.
Yeah.
Because of how close it was but it was quite close. But I think if it wasn't meant to be last year, for the championship, he probably would have definitely won this year with that car.
Yeah.
It's almost sad that they had to overspend to win it.
Yeah.
But even then, Max was so good last season as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he just had the performance, he probably would have won it.
Because don't forget that he had that tire blowout at Baku when he was in the lead and Silverstone, yeah. But then again, like if you consider like how much did that overspending benefit them in terms of car performance as well? That's where you just factor in everything.
Yeah, we had a big discussion on this over Discord the last couple of days, haven't we?
Yeah.
And all I can feel is exactly what A1 has said. It has helped them through, this year and last year, and it's an advantage which they've got. And the FIA have built themselves into an impossible position where if they penalise them, they uproot the 2021 championship. That is a great podium. Sorry. They completely ruin the championship from last year, potentially this year as well. The FIA were never going to penalise points for Max.
No, and it's almost like was it Austin as well, where Max kept his lap and Zhou's lap time got deleted, but when you see the pictures side by side, they're near on identical.
Yeah, that's true.
As we have said, I think we said it in the pre-GP, the FIA consistency. We said this yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, we said it in GT. We said it recently. Doesn't really matter when it was.
Oh, he's going to come up on the car, isn't he?
Yeah. But we have said the FIA, I don't think are worse than last year, but they're definitely not doing themselves any favours, are they?
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not biased, but I'm not biased against Red Bull. Obviously, I do like Mercedes. I don't really like the management of Red Bull, but again, I don't mind the drivers. Right, Max Verstappen is quite aggressive.
We don't like his style of driving.
Yeah, I don't like his style of driving, but I can't really say anything against the person he is.
Personally, he's a good guy.
But I'm biased in that respect of the drivers and the cars and the teams. It's just, I feel it was meant to be that Lewis got his 8th world title last year, and it's a shame that Red Bull had to overspend to beat the Mercedes.
It's tainted
and I feel, they've all disdained it. They've almost I don't know. It's not corruption in a way because obviously they have got fined for it. But I suppose last year could have potentially maybe be seen as corruption, as they've overspent to win. And then this year obviously the car has just been super quick. But it's an element of like how much last year's car helped this year's car. If they overspent on last year's car, what have they done to this car to make it so fast?
Yeah, particularly when a lot of parts and a lot of research would have been done last year.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's worth saying we're not Mercedes fans, not particularly. We're all Ferrari.
Yeah, I'm not buying.
We're all Ferrari and McLaren fans, aren't we? Before we get charged
Mostly.
for British bias.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like Mercedes, and
Yeah.
if I had to choose between the two, I probably would pick Mercedes over Red Bull, just because of I don't really like the management side of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the run-ins of Red Bull, but I don't have anything against the drivers at all. Apart from obviously Max being slightly aggressive, but like other than that, nothing against the drivers at all. I don't really like Karen.
Yeah, Karen Horner. You know,
Yeah.
I love seeing Perez's dad here. It's just hilarious.
He's just so
He's in
happy.
every shot.
Yeah. Lewis, spray the champagne at the car.
Make sure it's overweight by putting extra champagne into it.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory, go.
It was
Yeah,
just
like
a
you
little
say,
side note.
we're not all massive Mercedes fans.
Do you know
Like
what I
like Midnight said.
Yeah. So before we get charged with British bias, I think we
Yeah.
all like Russell, but we want to see a fight for the win. That's what we most want.
Yeah, to make it exciting, like we like the fights for the wins. We don't just like, oh, it's gonna be Max again. But I suppose we did get that with Lewis for a long while. That it was like, oh, it's gonna be Lewis. Oh, it's gonna be Lewis. And then this season, it's just like, oh, it's gonna be Max that wins it.
Yeah. In
But-
2020, when Lewis effectively ran away with the title after the Ferraris just fell away and whatnot, it wasn't particularly difficult for him, was it?
Hmm.
And we weren't. But it's like, yeah, we got a few good races, particularly when Hamilton came back through
Lewis
the
is
field.
going down to the car.
Yeah. Don't touch the car. That's a 10 grand fine. We've had that before. That was Sao Paulo last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
But yeah, we had Lewis fight through the pack in 2020, finish the race on 3 tyres and still win races. Some of that year was exciting as sin, if dominant. Because when a Red Bull does it, it's typically from the front. And then that's it, race over.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we've seen Max a few times this year starting further back and still winning the race by
Hungary, yeah.
however many seconds.
That it's just nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that car is so dominant in some circuits, it's unreal. Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, like Ferrari still had a pretty fast car throughout the year. They just weren't able to make the most of it whilst it was still like pretty dominant.
Yeah. From what was it, Austria onwards, give or take.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So the second 2/3 of the season have been all Red Bull.
Do you know what? I'd laugh if next race there's a fault with that car. The amount of confetti and champagne and everything.
Yeah, mechanics have got to be looking at it going, oh, I've got to clean that shit up.
Yeah, I've got to make sure every bit of that is clean.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, God.
Should we move on to the breakdown and get this over and done with? Because we're going to be coming back for Jackbox as well tonight. We'll schedule that for about 10 minutes after the stream.
Yes. And I'd still have to have some dinner.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're not going to get any dinner.
Jackbox, what a better, like, name a better evening.
I know, F1 and Jackbox. That's pretty good if you ask me.
Oh,
Okay.
I think the cameras are a bit...
Alright, let's move on to the breakdown. So sorry, Pedro, but we've lost you on the camera. So
What?
But now it's Sarah and Mr. Pumpkin.
yeah, and there's not much I can do about it at this point in time. I didn't think we could have 3 for this. I forgot. So apologies on that one.
No worries. You're the stars of the show here, so it's only fair that you two are on the screen.
Not exactly stars, mate. I think the pumpkin's the star of the show.
He's happy if you can't tell.
Oh, we can tell. We can tell. Right.
I'll have to show you the pumpkin that I began carving earlier before I had to jump on.
Yeah,
For the
please do.
race.
Please do at some point.
It's not really scary.
Stephen wants a pumpkin. That's it. Right. Shall we jump straight into it? Can one of you two pair do us a favour? One of you look at the qualifying results, one of you look at the finishing results, because I'm not going to have a chance to bring it all up.
I have both over here, but if you
That'll
want to
do
split,
fine.
Sarah, we can.
You
we
can do it. I'm on my phone, so if I come off of Discord, the picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
You
Okay.
go ahead.
Shall we do this one in reverse alphabetical?
Sounds good. If you want.
Okay.
All right, breakdown. So if anyone hasn't already, please vote for your driver of the day.
Please do.
Do you know what? I should probably do that because I haven't done it yet.
I haven't done it, but if I do it, my camera will turn off.
Well, I'm going to do that quickly, just because. Who am I going to vote for? Do you know what? It can only be one person for me. Boom. And submitted. So we've got 9 responses already, and do you know what? There's always a couple of freaking trolls in there. Of course. Right, moving on. Right, so let's start with Joe straight away.
Okay. So Joe started 12th and finished 13th.
Oh, he went backwards.
Yes.
Didn't realise.
But yeah, don't forget that he still had a 48 lap stint on those mediums.
I was going to say, it was the massive stint that I think might have displaced him a little bit compared to where the people started around him.
Definitely. He was kind of ahead of where he should have been at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he did a pretty good move on the 4-time World Championship Vettel.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Was that turn 1, turn 2? Or was it further on?
Yes, it was there.
So,
Seemed like a quite bold move.
very bold.
Nothing really bad to say about his performance, really.
Give him a C.
Just maybe it should have pitted sooner.
Yeah.
But then that's not his fault.
I think he deserves a C+. I mean, he's had a very solid race and a good move.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Can't
I
really
agree.
downgrade it or anything. He's not done anything particularly wrong.
Yeah.
God, I think we're happy with that. So, next one. Easy. Sebastian Vettel.
So he started 16th and finished 14th.
So it went up.
He had an epic stint on those soft tyres to begin with. And then that Aston's just a dog, isn't it?
Yeah. Other than that, we didn't really see much of him.
He did more laps on the softs than he did on the mediums.
That just tells you something, doesn't it? Jeez.
Same as Joe, C+?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like going C or C+. I think it was quite average for that car.
Yeah, he did epic in that first stint, but other than that, it was... yeah. All right.
He pulled off a few moves.
True. He had a good racing spirit. It was good to see him.
Yeah, great. Wait, we're going for C or C+?
I'm thinking C+, personally.
Let's go C+, because again, it is in that car.
Exactly. Okay, the next one is Max Verstappen, our winner.
So, well, he started first, finished first.
True.
Surprise.
Again,
Surprise.
no tests, no challenges.
Made those
No, fine.
medium tyres last an insane amount of time.
Yeah.
36 laps.
To me, though, that's kind of just like an average race for him.
Average.
Nothing special, really.
Yeah.
And again, I
Problem
think
is-
we probably all expected it, so it wasn't like we're all like, "Wow, he won!"
Right, if you're at school, all right, and you constantly do the same sort of level of work, so say you're always doing pretty well, do you then grade people by their normal performance, or do you grade them as what they would have done in, say, a curriculum? To me, what Max is doing is just it's constant A grade. And
Yes.
it's annoying because he's just constantly there.
Yeah, because he's not doing anything wrong, but then he's not
Yeah.
really like the A is then becoming average for him, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That's showing how good he is. I mean,
Or good that car is.
yeah, true. But again, what was it, 56 laps on those, Pedro?
He did 46, yeah.
46, sorry. I'm going to say A. Pedro, what do you say?
Yeah, I'd probably go for that as well. Like,
I agree with you.
despite of him just being in the best car and all that, and always performing at a great level, he still finished 15 seconds ahead of Lewis.
Yeah.
So,
It's annoying, but he's just that damn good.
yeah, he's just that good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we can say much more about it, but dominant yet again. Oh
Yeah.
dear. So next one, Sonoda. What's the old statties for that one?
To know that he started 13th, obviously DNF'd after that contact with Danny Rick.
Which would have been about on the fringes of the points when that happened, wasn't it?
Yes. I think he was P11.
But then again, I don't. Was it entirely Danny's fault? I'm not too sure. I feel like Sonoda probably could have given a lot more room.
I'd be very inclined to agree with you.
It's just obviously I've done it a couple of times when I've raced where you kind of misjudge where they are, and you go for the wide line and you cut back in.
Not that we're thinking of our pre-GPs, eh?
But it's almost like he didn't learn from the first corner when they interlocked wheels, and then they did it again.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure what to rate him, really.
I'm agreed with you on that one. I think he's actually had a strong race.
Yeah.
But his spatial awareness is just... You just know it's coming. As soon as someone goes wheel to wheel with Stroll or Sonoda, you're just wincing, waiting for them to bump into each other.
I might be a bit controversial on this, but like it does this does require a bit of racecraft as well.
Yep.
Because like I think it's essential that you know your opponents in a way, or the drivers that you're driving against.
How racing they're going to be, etc.
Yeah, like you sort of know what to expect. You should know what to expect in certain situations from certain drivers. I mean, Danny's move, like, I guess you could say it's a bit on the verge of like being fair and, you know, a bit.
It was ambiguous, I think.
Ambitious.
Like, I don't know how to rate it, to be honest. I really don't, because it's almost like he forgot Danny was there on the second bit of that corner, even though they literally just interlocked the wheels like on the first bit. So it's like, I don't know.
I saw his on board. And it didn't look like Yuki did any sort of movement resembling that he was looking at his mirrors. But then again, like it, I'd have to, if there was like a percentage of blame towards both drivers, I'd say that Ricciardo would definitely be the one with the most percentage like to blame.
Yeah.
For this instance. But then again, maybe Yuki should have given him a little bit more space because like even if he was letting Daniel go side by side there from his onboard, it didn't seem like he left enough space. But then again, he's not necessarily entitled to leave that space in that situation. So
Personally,
it's a bit
I'm
divided.
thinking maybe a D or a D plus.
Benefit of the doubt, D plus.
Yeah, because it's not like
Yeah.
C or C plus where we've rated the other drivers so far.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
We do have Stephen in the chat saying it was Yuki's corner to take, and controversially, it feels like a little bit of McLaren Ricardo bias creeping in. Ooh. We're not going to agree with you. I mean,
no, it's tricky because one camera angle gave you that they were alongside and it looked quite fair. Then another camera angle from above then almost like switched it and made that it was very ambitious from Danny to do that move. And I think that's obviously why he got the 10 seconds. I was just trying to see it from like the racing that we've done.
Yeah. You can see how it happened from both perspectives.
Yeah, but personally, if I knew that I've just interlocked like wheels of the car behind me, I know he's still there.
Exactly.
So why have I then gone tight into the other corner?
Yeah. I think we can all agree, and as we've all sort of said to each other, 10 seconds is too harsh. 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, considering like where like Gasly just got a 5-second penalty for pushing Stroll slightly out wide.
Yeah, and Russell last weekend got a 5-second penalty for KOing Sainz. So
yes,
but I think we can all agree that Tsunoda needs to be more aware. He was on the hard tyres. Danny was on the soft tyres. Danny was clearly faster. Chances are he was going to have a stab. And turning in on someone...
Yeah, and maybe looking back, maybe Danny should have waited until they passed that corner.
Yeah.
With, obviously, the tyre advantage he had.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Hindsight, damn you, hindsight.
God damn you, hindsight. Yeah. So, Pedro, grading?
What did you guys say? Was it?
I said D or D plus.
I'm thinking D plus for benefit of the doubt. Because up until then, he's had a fairly decent race.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's on the verge of like D plus to C, so I'd have to agree with you guys. But then again, like if it wasn't for that incident, he would have been my driver of the day.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
I would have maybe pushed him up to a C.
Amazing drive.
Still running.
Yeah.
For Daniel, that I meant, not Yuki.
I instantly thought that's Tsunoda. Oh, interesting. And then I went, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Anywho, next one. Stroll.
So you went from 20th to 15th.
I mean, not bad, but he obviously was complaining for grip.
He went half as long on the medium tyres as Seb did on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He then got pushed out wide by Gasly.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't think we didn't see much else, did we, from him?
Not really.
Yeah. He was just defending from other cars, but even then it wasn't. I don't think it was a spectacular race for him.
The car is a dog.
True.
It's average for him, I guess. I'd probably go C. Well, I'd maybe go C because we've rated Yuki D plus.
Yeah.
I can't remember the driver, but it was. Who did we rate C plus again?
Joe and Vettel.
Yeah, he's not as good as Joe.
Yeah, his performance ain't on par with them, so I wouldn't rate him a C plus.
Definitely not.
That's why I'm going like in the middle. Yeah.
He's gone up 5 places from the back.
Still pretty good.
He's not really done anything. He's whined on the radio, but other than that, he's got to the end without any big incidents, which was a massive increase from last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
A shame about last week because I think he was set to have a good finish.
In theory, that would have been his best
Yeah.
one in many a year. Anywho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he might have fumbled under the pressure there slightly.
Yeah, and he's just not safe to be around. He's a bit like Sonoda, just constantly when you go up alongside him, you're like, oh god, please don't kill me.
But,
I can't imagine the chats like they were having, because obviously a future teammate and all.
Yeah, that is. Oh god, I hadn't even thought of
Yes.
that. Oh god, yes.
If you see his post race interview, like from last weekend,
Very
he
awkward.
just seemed like really just arrogant and entitled, as if like he was the one that was in the right side and Alonso was at fault for what happened. So
That's going to bode well for Alonso in the future.
He didn't necessarily attack Alonso, but his sort of attitude and like body language and all that just didn't look right. Yeah.
Let's move on.
You know,
Go.
just one last comment before we move on from Stroll. It's ironic that he ended up doing a 30 lap stint on the second set of softs. So he did more laps on both sets of softs than he did on the mediums.
So he went soft, medium, soft.
No, medium, soft.
And he went long on both
medium,
sets of softs and the mediums.
Yes.
That kind of makes me want to drop him down a grade.
Oh. So.
Leave him where he is for the meantime. Mick Schumacher.
Yeah. So Mick started 15th, finished 16th.
Did we even see anything from him in the race?
No.
I don't think I heard his name. I heard his name mentioned or saw anything from him.
He did a 46 lap stint on the medium tires until the end. So he started on the softs.
Again, nothing special really.
Yeah.
Considering of the other drivers.
I think it's kind of just a C and leave it there. It's just he's not done anything wrong.
I'd maybe even go D+, you know.
Yeah, I don't think I'd rate him higher than Tsunoda.
Okay.
Because up until that point, Tsunoda was having a good race.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, leave him in there with Tsunoda. I'll agree to that one and move on. Because we just didn't see him, did we?
No.
Yeah.
That's all.
Never mind. Next one is Mr. Smooth Operator Carlito Sainz. 5th.
That Ferrari was a mistake today, wasn't it?
That was so bad.
You can argue it's more the car in this aspect. However,
if Russell didn't pit like for the last 2 laps, he would just been like even then he finished 31 seconds ahead of Sainz
with an extra pit stop.
To be fair, Sainz and Leclerc did 42 and 43 laps on the mediums respectively. But even then, it's just the car itself just looked like it was nowhere this weekend.
But as you said, they had to turn down the turbocharger to ensure the survival of the engine. So I think they got the max out what they were ever going to. They were never going to catch Red Bull. Mercedes has set up the game. C+.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Even so, because he finished 8 seconds ahead of Leclerc, I think he.
Okay. Well,
No, actually, I was seeing the wrong gap. He finished 10 seconds ahead of Leclerc.
Well,
almost.
What do we rate him? C+, or do we go lower?
I don't know.
Divide between a C and a C+.
It's because obviously like you say, it's more the car than it is the driver to this weekend.
Yeah.
I would put him on. I think if it is a C+, it's a weak C+, but.
Yeah, if we're rating that, I'd probably go C+ for Carlos and then C for Charles.
I would be happy with that, and I think we can probably do that right now, actually. So we'll do Leclerc at the same time. We'll do that now. Leclerc, just a meh race, wasn't it?
Yeah.
and
he
Carlos
he
has
only
been
gained the
faster.
place.
It's
Yeah,
nice to
and
see Ferrari not make any mistakes. However, they've done it when there's no pressure on them.
Yeah, at all.
Even then, they made a mistake on one of the pit stops.
True. I'm less inclined to bitch at the teams who are making mistakes in the pit stops because it's high pressure.
Yes.
And there's so many factors.
Obviously, yeah.
But strategy-wise, they
didn't mess up
existed.
today.
They were just there. So, well, that's the Ferrari's done. So that was easy. So, moving on to the next one, George Russell.
Oh,
So, started second, finished fourth. Miles off the top three.
Well, you would be with the extra pit stop.
got the fastest lap though.
Yeah.
I'm just going to flat out say my grade and let you two fight over it. B.
Yeah, I'll go B. Nothing special.
Kept the others in
Got
sight.
forced out by his teammate.
Yeah, nearly was going for the win. Kept the others in sight until the pit stop. Other than that,
I don't know because of he lost 2 places still, and he was absolutely nowhere in that on that stint with the Hearts.
my personal
Maybe
I'm comparing him against like where we've rated Carlos.
Yeah.
In C plus. He's obviously done that marginally better than Carlos, and obviously with the gap between the two. That's why I'd be more inclined to give him a B. But I can see where you maybe would go lower because in the Mercedes you think he'd be a little bit closer to Perez.
He was only on the back of him by about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, he finished 31 seconds behind Perez, like even with the pit stop.
Until the pit stop. Before the pit stop, he was only about 4 or 5 seconds on the back of Perez. At most. I think both Mercedes were hobbled by going to the hard tyre.
I mean, I'm not too sure because he did, like his last lap was like 2.6 seconds quicker than Perez, so I assume he probably gained like let's say 6 seconds. I don't know. It was mainly because of the positions that he lost, but I guess I can take that grade if you two decide to go for a B.
Well, what would you give him for your grade? We're both going for a B, but you'd be thinking more sort of strong C plus.
Possibly a strong C plus, like low B.
Okay, I'll accept that. I think we're going to agree to disagree and say he's going to squeak into a B, but
I mean, it's still fair. It's still fair.
For me, it's just where obviously comparing him to like where we've rated Carlos.
Yeah.
If it was in the C plus, I think he'd be the top end of the C plus.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he just tweaks in just a tiny bit, obviously, because the Mercedes compared to the start of the season, it's getting.
Steven says, can't wait to debate Ricciardo with you, all depending on where he goes. And he says, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, so next up, Danny Ricciardo. I'm going to say it now, A star. Moving on. I've put him in A star. We're going to go on to Perez. No, we're not. Genuinely, B plus.
Honestly, yeah, he just, I think he did pretty well, like pace wise. He was much better than Lando.
Yeah.
But Lando was on the hard.
Yep.
True, but even on the first stint, like Daniel just extended that stint and still did pretty well, I'd say.
Personally, though, I might rate him a B just for the incident.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. Although he managed to pull off the 10-second gap and held the position. So it was almost like a high B, low B plus.
And he did 26 laps on that stint. He did 26 laps on that stint of softs.
So, all right, the pair of you spit out a grade. And Pedro, I'm going to make you go first on this one.
I'd probably say maybe a low B.
A B? Sarah?
High C plus, I'm not sure.
I'll go high B.
So you're saying, the pair of you are saying B, basically?
Mm-hmm.
But a high B.
Okay. I'm very at all with his speed in the last sector of the race.
Yeah, that's what's making me put him like really high
Mhm.
up on V, like
Okay.
possible B plus.
Yeah.
But the only thing
I'd
grading
agree.
him down is that
Yeah.
incident.
Yeah, which
That incident. Yeah.
I think we can agree Danny is more at fault for it, but Tsunoda
Mhm.
needs to use
Yeah,
his mirrors more.
don't get me wrong. If he wasn't in the incident, guaranteed B plus A.
B plus, yeah.
Steven says you cannot put him higher than Tsunoda overtakes or not because you're saying penalty means absolutely nothing.
No, it obviously doesn't mean nothing, but he pulled off the gap
He
that he
still pulled off
needed
the
to
gap.
keep the
Yeah.
position.
But you
From
can
it wasn't slow.
Yeah. And the Alpine, I'd say, is faster than the McLaren at the moment.
Yeah. And okay, with what Steven said, you cannot ignore the incident. You cannot ignore the rest of the race as well.
Yeah, that's what's downgraded me for him, the incident. But the rest of it, I was quite impressed with.
Yeah.
That he managed to switch on those softs, be quite fast, and pull off the gap that he needed to keep the position.
And he'd, as Pedro had said, he'd extended the first stint so long he could do that. He made his own
Exactly,
strategy.
yeah.
He was the one that had the longest stint on the... No, it was Joe, actually, but he was the one who did the second longest stint on the mediums out of all the drivers.
I mean, don't get us wrong, we're not at all being biased to any of, like, over drivers and teams and stuff. It's just purely performance-based. We're downgrading for the incident.
Yeah.
We can't rate him on the same level as Tsunoda, because obviously Tsunoda DNF, he carried on, but he did then carry on and go faster.
And,
exactly.
Yeah, it didn't ruin his race, and he had an epic first stint.
Exactly.
And with the non-biased nature of us, we're going to say Hamilton A-star, Latifi A-star, Alonso A-star. That sounds all fair, doesn't it? And as Steven says, Tsunoda did DNF because of Ricciardo, but at the end of the day, you still have to look in your mirrors, and knowing the tyre advantage of the person behind you, you can't. It was always a potential.
You know what? I'm curious to see something now that we are mentioning this topic. How highly did we rate Russell and Stroll last week?
I think Russell got a B last week as well, didn't he?
I can't remember.
And he completely finished Carlos' race as well, and he still got a B regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it was a bit of a different scenario, and like even then, like
we still gave Russell a strong result.
Yeah,
true. I mean, I'd like to hear Steven's opinions. Why
would he put him
do you not agree with us?
Because it's Tsunoda fanboy.
No, but purely performance-based, no team bias or anything. Why the disagreement in the ratings? It's just interesting because obviously one DNF'd and one carried on, one went faster. Obviously was at blame for the incident, took the penalty, but then built the gap so that the penalty didn't really affect him. That's why we've rated him higher.
I would argue this: if it wasn't for the incident, I would have been looking at giving Ricciardo an A easily.
Oh, definitely. That's what I said a minute ago. High B plus A for him if he was not involved in that incident at all.
Yeah.
He would have been my driver of the day if it wasn't for the incident.
Yeah.
Yeah, purely pace wise, I would have voted him that high.
Like,
but I downgraded him for the incident.
Yeah. He was a lot stronger than... I mean, you know, they were on different strategies, that is true, but like he was still a lot faster than Lando throughout the race. Not necessarily throughout the weekend. I mean, he was unlucky not to make it into Q3.
I think we all expect that at the moment, unfortunately. Again, nothing like, we're like, oh, Daniel Ricciardo, but obviously we are because we do like McLaren, we do like Danny. So it's like, it is unfortunate when he does go out and qualifying, but it's like, it's not unexpected at the moment.
No, sadly not. Sadly not. Right, well, let's put this to bed. We'll put him in a B because we've all agreed that it's there or thereabouts. And
I mean, he went quicker due to the penalty, but he was still on an old set of soft tires.
Yeah.
So
if he didn't build the gap and he didn't do the overtakes he did, etc., I probably would have maybe voted him a C or
even lower, possibly.
Yeah, C would probably be the highest if he didn't build that gap and do what he did. Because then again, it would have just been an average race for him.
Yeah, and you can say his early stint he was nowhere. It's because he went so long on the mediums. That tyre wasn't as quick as a Snowder on the softs at the beginning, followed by the mediums.
He got the better strategy compared to Zhou, because it was both of them at one point that didn't pit, and he just got the better out of the two.
Let me just go have a look at the clip so that I can see which rating we gave.
We'll let you get back to. We'll come back to that if we can find the rating what we gave Russell last week. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But with that in the background, we're going to go on to Perez.
Yes. Okay, so Checo started P4 and finished P3.
I'd go B plus. Or don't know if it's A material.
He went much long. He went 2 laps longer than Max on the mediums.
I might just rate him A just because of his dad. You know, his dad is really happy.
You can't.
Oh, Sarah, but just be careful.
Really happy
Because
and just
apparently
bringing the happy vibes to the end of the race.
We'd have to give him an A star.
Just be careful with that, because apparently people are suggesting that just because his dad is running for presidency in Mexico, that means that he's using Perez as a not necessarily like campaign strategy in a way.
I didn't know that.
That's what I've been hearing, like apparently from the.
Just performance-wise, I'd maybe go B plus, just because in that Red Bull it's nothing special.
Yeah, quite frankly, he was on the back of Hamilton, but he didn't really.
He dropped off towards the end.
Do you know what? I'm not even sure it's a B plus. It's a B or a B plus.
We got close to Hamilton at one point, and then since that point, he backed off. Yeah.
I do agree with what Stephen said. Politics needs to stay out of F1. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
But, was it better than Russell?
Obviously, position-wise, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really do anything.
My personal opinion is it's a strong B. A very strong.
I put him higher than Russell in the B though.
Yeah.
Just because obviously position.
Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah, a very strong B.
You could
I
argue
would
that.
make B plus if he was closer to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he only finished 3 seconds behind him. But then again, like, would you say like in that car he was expected to do a whole lot better than Hamilton and possibly finishing ahead of him? Yeah.
He also did lose 3 seconds at the pit stops.
Yeah, unfortunately. Not really his fault though.
Does that squeak him into a B plus, like a weak B plus?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because he was held for 5 seconds.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd be willing to concede that. B plus.
Yeah. And we can't ignore that he did a 48 lap stint on the mediums as well.
Which is pretty damn good. Okay. Next one. Esteban Ocon.
Started 10th, finished 8th.
I don't know, nothing special really. Again, average race for him.
Strong C plus?
Yeah.
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 There's nothing that springs to mind like, oh wow, I must rate him higher because of this.
He did pull off a cracking move around the outside of Bottas. Who I think was coming up the pit lane at the time.
Maybe.
I mean, slightly better than Mick, obviously, because we didn't see anything of Mick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was also going to say that of Magnussen, really, as well. Didn't really see anything of him.
We'll get into that.
I was probably going to rate him the same as Mick when we get there.
We'll get in there. My point of view is, strong C plus. What do you two think?
Okay. Yeah.
I probably agree.
We'll go with that. Should we put him above or below Zhou?
Obviously, position-wise, it's better than Zhou.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. It's a bit tricky because. Because we can't ignore that Joe did an amazing job on those mediums as well.
Shall we just say he's equal with Joe?
Yeah.
Fair
Possibly, yeah.
enough. Okay, in which case, the next one, Lando of Norris.
Not
Started
the best
8th,
race for him.
finished 9th.
Started where?
8th and finished 9th. So you went backwards one position.
D+. It's not been a good one.
I'd go C plus maybe.
Ooh. Pedro?
I can just be really annoying and go C.
Fine. We'll put him in a C. Right in the middle of all three of us.
Just because, like, it wasn't his strongest weekend. Like, it
Wait,
wasn't
did you say
necessarily...
D plus?
I did say D+.
I thought you said B plus. That's why I went. No, I'd go C plus.
Why do you think C+, though? I'm just curious.
No, because I thought you said B plus. I didn't think you said D plus.
So
that's why I voted him down. But I'd probably agree with you then. Let's see.
C.
Just misheard. I thought you said B.
Yeah.
It
I was
was
like,
still
what B?
solid.
That's quite high.
Yeah. It was still solid, but nothing too spectacular.
Nothing
like,
special on performance wise of what he's capable of.
And nowhere near Danny today, which is
Absolutely.
interesting to hear, actually, isn't it?
Good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. K-Mag.
Started 19th, finished 17th, but didn't really do much, to be fair.
I'd say on par with Mick, to be honest.
Yeah.
That and just move on. We didn't see very average race.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Latifi, Le Goats. Let me guess.
Started
19th to 18th.
No, wait. On my screen, it says that he started 18th
Damn
and
it.
finished 18th.
Oh, he was so close. I was one out.
But, like, he finished 2 laps behind the leaders. He was the only driver to finish 2 laps behind. He had a very weird strategy. He just did a little bit over 17 laps on the softs. I can tell how many. Then he just did a stint on the hards, and then did 17 laps on the softs. So,
well, I've just seen a factoid from Stephen. He's just gone. He was lapped by his own teammate.
Yeah, he was 2 laps down on everyone. So, yeah, it's just. I'd say an E, possibly.
Sarah?
Yeah. E or E plus.
We don't have E pluses, we have Ds and Es.
Oh. E or D then, because to finish 2 laps behind everyone else is a bit
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to put up a vote. I would have said D just because he's managed to get around without incident. But when you just consider the pace, I'm not going to fight that. E and move on.
Even on that last lap, he was still 1.5 seconds slower than Magnussen on fresher tires, because Magnussen did 32 laps on the softs, as opposed to Latifi's 17.
Yeah. Okay. We're just gonna move on from it because that's just Latifi.
Yeah, Latifi's Latifi at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Hamilton.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, finished in second. Started third, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, started third and finished second. Yeah.
I'd go maybe a B or B plus. It's not an A for me.
It's not an A, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm thinking B plus ahead of Perez.
B plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think on a better strategy, maybe going to the mediums, maybe might have been able to be slightly closer to Verstappen towards the end.
But not pass him.
But not pass him.
Yeah.
Because we've seen that for the majority of that first stint, he was only like within 2 seconds at most from Max on an inferior car, so that's still and he still did 42 laps on the hards. Maybe not as impressive as other drivers who did that same amount or more on the mediums, but
But he definitely had the slower tire.
Yes, and even then, on his last lap, he was only roughly like 4/10 slower than Max. So
it's a good performance from him, but it's not as strong as Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. B plus. Gasly.
Gasly. So he started.
Oh, Gasly.
14th.
Do we have a result on what we gave Russell last week yet?
I've seen it, and we've given him a C.
But where did he finish in the end in Austin?
Good question.
We'll come back to that. Gasly. What's the stats for
It
Gasly
wasn't
today?
on the podium either, was it?
Sorry?
It wasn't on the podium either, from what I remember.
I think he was 5th in the end.
Yeah.
It might have been, 4th or 5th. I'm not too sure.
Because it was Max, Lewis, Leclerc,
Check.
Perez, Russell.
Yeah.
Oh, my knowledge works.
So let's see. So Gasly started 14th, finished 11th, only 0.6 seconds behind Bottas.
And he had a Gasly penalty as well.
And he had a 5-second penalty. Did 41 laps on the mediums and 30 on the softs.
Where did he start?
14th.
Started 14th
Gone ahead
and finished
3
11th.
places. I would have said C+, but with the penalty, drop him
C.
to a C.
I agree with that.
Well, yeah.
Stephen saying, can I argue Ricardo bias yet? Yeah. No, you can't, because we've already said it was to do with the rest of the race. So
Yeah, we're waiting for you to come up with a counter argument.
yeah, other than
Considering we've given our counter arguments.
yeah, other than one corner.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that was only George's fault. And I assume that Danny must have had some sort of damage as well, because you just don't break a sidepod without getting some sort of damage.
Well, it's the wheel mostly, wasn't it? That front left.
Lucky not to get a puncher in that though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Because, yeah, hit the sidepod on the first one, and then obviously the tyre rolled over on the second one.
And just to go back to the Ricardo thing one last time, we dropped Ricardo probably 2 grades because of that one thing. So
yeah. If you could watch about the stream later, you'll see that we did
we've
put our arguments.
Yeah,
we have knocked him down.
Yeah,
and with Gasly, shall we say C?
Yeah.
Yes.
He actually drove all right, with the exception of that lock up into
collision.
Stroll.
Yeah,
and
I'm intrigued to see what his pace will be like in the Alpine next year.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
The AlphaTauri this year has just not been made for him.
It's just really bad. Yeah, that car was... They just dropped off massively in performance.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Valtteri Bottas. Bottas.
Started 6th, finished 10th.
Epic qualifying for me, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you were to go on qualifying, that would be an A-star qualifying.
And let's not forget, I think he only did 1 run in each session as well. So that's very impressive, if that's the case. I don't want to say something that I'm not 100% sure of, but I think I heard something about it. Only him doing 1 lap per like a session.
It does prove he's super quick in qualifying when he can get the tyres working.
Yeah.
This might be thingy, but in the Alpha, maybe taking the qualifying on board slightly, I'd maybe say low C+.
I would agree with that.
Average race-ish for him.
Yeah.
Race pace of the Alpha's not as good.
Yeah, race pace obviously not as good, but hanged on in there.
Good battle with Ocon.
Yeah.
He still did 40 laps on the mediums and 31 on the softs.
That was a good performance. I'd be pleased if I was him. Not with the points, but pleased with the showing. Stephen does say, completely unrelated, but I've just seen the most outrageous take in a while. I'll explain after this. You better do. I want to know what you're on about. But Bottas, C+?
Yes. Yeah.
Which leaves us with 2. Alonso and Albon. So, Alonso started...
Started
7th?
9th.
Why do I
And
always think he started
DNF.
7th?
Indeed,
DNF'd
DNF.
from 9th, didn't he?
60. Yeah, on the 64th lap. I can't remember.
Oh, I'm not
He
sure.
was.
He did
He
hold
was.
up Hamilton. And
He was
that looked
another
on
one.
purpose.
Yeah, and he was another one of those drivers who did just a really long stint on the mediums before moving to the hards.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hamilton and all that proved going medium hards was the wrong choice.
You know what? I'd either rate him C or D plus.
Ooh, harsh. Pedro?
I'd rate him D plus for holding Hamilton
Yeah.
He was.
under
It-
blue flag
And that was
because of
blocking.
the move out of the way.
Yeah.
Um,
He was
but,
still running along like 7th to 9th, I think.
I'd say
throughout-
before that, obviously, he was running still quite average for that car.
Yeah, I'd be happy to give him a C. Because
I'd say C or D plus.
I don't think it was as bad as the Haas drivers, but
No.
he was on course from some solid points until the detonation of the engine, which will now affect him into Sao Paulo as well.
Once again.
He always has penalties. Okay.
He's had terrible luck this season, and you can I can't stress enough how much bad luck he had this season.
Yeah.
Like whenever he was running on the points,
I just don't see
the
it
car
getting any
failing on
better.
him and all that. Like
GP2 engine.
Well, he might be moving from a GP2 engine to a GP2 car next season. So
Yeah, maybe.
let's see what Aston does. Hopefully, for the sake of him, they'll give him somewhat decent car. So.
Last one. Albon.
Sarah? So started 17th, finished 12th, and he was on the verge of the points at a given moment. Still finished 2 seconds behind Gasly.
C or C plus.
How many retirements did we have? 2.
2, yeah. And let me just say, he did 39 laps on the mediums and 32 on the softs.
Considering where he started, I might go C plus.
Yeah, he did pull off a few overtakes. It's in a while.
C plus from Sarah. Pedro?
I think I'd agree with that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe low B or C plus. Like definitely C plus, I'd say.
Steven says potentially, unpopular opinion, B plus, maybe even squeaking into an A.
Nah.
Ooh.
I would have voted him A maybe if he got into the points.
The reason why I asked how many retirements were there, because when you start at the back, it is much easier to gain positions through retirements.
Yeah.
Alonso would have finished ahead of him, so that would have been 13th. Tsunoda
probably.
So that's 14th. Yeah. Personally?
Yeah, after you say that. Oh.
But then again, he's in the worst car.
Yes.
C or C plus still for me then.
I would have on the performance said a B, but I'd be happy to go with C plus.
Same. I'd agree with you, Midnight. If you two want to go for a C plus, that's fair enough. I wouldn't rate him any lower than a C plus.
I'd go C plus just because of what Midnight said. It's like if you do take into equation obviously where the two that were running were and then retired, he would have finished 2 places like below where he was. And then when you think about it, when you start like 17th, that's not that many positions gained.
It's 3 positions with 2 dropouts.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a great performance from him.
Yeah.
He drove his heart out and was racing hard, but he did get passed by Gasly towards the end, and 2 of the 3 positions he gained were through dropouts.
But it's just really hard. Like because I would have given him probably a low B even though his performance was pretty good.
B for me, I would have wanted him in the points.
Because then again, like he did do some good moves when he was actually fighting other people. Like those 3 places he gained, like by virtue of not. But then again, like you could say, even with those 2 dropouts, he was still ahead of Gasly for a long time. He was ahead of. I'm not sure if he was ahead of Bottas at any point.
It's worth saying before you carry on, we gave Ricardo a B. It wasn't the same level of performance.
I'd go C+. A middle C+.
Ooh, I would have probably said I'd give him like the top of C+.
Wait, who do we have in C+?
Zhou, Ocon, Vettel, Sainz, and Bottas.
Yeah, middle for me.
I'm going to agree with Pedro on this one and say top of C+.
Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I don't know.
No, we all have different
drivers that
opinions.
we put in there.
Yeah, that's the good of this. Like we can just all discuss, and like even though we may not agree on all of them, we still.
I mean, we all agree with a C+.
Yeah.
Just chuck him in there somewhere.
Chuck who in there somewhere?
Yeah.
Have one.
Oh, I'll chuck Hulkenberg in C+ as well.
Okay, go on then.
No, Hulkenberg is A star.
Okay, we can do that. I can't actually get rid of him now. He's stuck in there. I can't get rid of him.
He sneaks in there, damn it.
Nico Hulkenberg, as the meme is going around at the moment.
Hulkenberg.
No.
I'm fed up of seeing that one. I really am. But yeah, okay. I think you're enjoying yourself now.
Gasly.
God. Okay. I think we've reached a decent compromise. I don't think we're ever going to agree with Stephen on Ricardo, but
if he puts up a good counter argument, I'll take it. But
otherwise, we're not.
Like we said, if you watch the stream back,
we
did put arguments against. Basically, quick reminder: we voted him down because of the incident. If he wasn't involved in the incident, we would have voted him higher.
Yeah,
but he did pull off the 10-second gap.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you're outvoted and ignored, Stephen. And on that note,
I'd only say like this Albon one still leaves me a bit like, even though I agree with the C+, like I'm still not like, I'm only like 90% convinced. But then again, I'll definitely take that C+. I wouldn't put it. I mean, I wouldn't have put him any lower than that.
Yeah, I agree with that, and not any lower. But for me, it's like don't know.
He fought like a B+ A driver, but
he's
just not as good as Danny.
Yeah, he just wasn't as good. Yeah, I mean,
so
don't get me wrong, it was still pretty impressive to do like 39 laps on the mediums and still retain some sort of like decent pace, as well as 32 on the softs. Yeah. He was almost faster than Gasly. I mean, I guess we can compare like to Ocon, Norris, and Bottas. Even though they were all on the hards, he was still quicker than them, not by much. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just wasn't as impressive as Danny Rick. I'm gonna sum it up there before I dig myself a hole that I can't get out of.
I know that feeling. I'm gonna say with that note, we're gonna end it there because otherwise we're gonna carry on forever.
Yes.
We got Jackbox after this. I'm gonna say give us half an hour. Does that sound about right to you two? About 11:30?
Well, I mean, I could probably start soon now, but
let Pedro have something first.
Same. Yeah. I mean, I won't take long to eat, and even then, I can still eat whilst we are doing the games.
That's true. Well, we'll take half an hour.
If you want to start, if you want to start soon, that's good. That's fine by me.
I say take half an hour because we're quite frankly we've been going for quite a few hours on, well, nearly 3 hours on this, as well as 2 hours on the pre-GP, and Sarah looks scary as sin, so I'm going to need to go have a comfort break.
Fairly beautiful, let's see.
I'm going to go with scary. And yeah, so I'm going to say it's been great fun, you two. And Stephen, we love you too. Exactly that. And we're going to go for a raid on Flawed. Oh, the one thing we haven't done is rate this Grand Prix out of 10.
Oh, yeah. You go first, sir.
6.5. Maybe
I was
7.
going to say exactly that. That's exactly what I had in my head. 6.5.
Average race, not anything amazing.
Tactically interesting. Lots of midfield action, but it won't be a rewatch.
There weren't many like outstanding moments, like loads of overtakes. I don't think. So I'd probably have to say 5.5 or a 6, perhaps.
I'll be happy.
Maybe I'm just being a bit too harsh.
I'll tell you what. You go 5.5. I'll go 6. Sarah will go 6.5.
Okay.
So we average out as a 6.
Oh, we forgot to ask the opinion to Mr. Pumpkin Octopus. What does he rate this Grand Prix as? 2, 3, 4.
No. Oh yeah, it's caught now.
What?
Oh, is he flipping us off?
Yeah.
That's just rude.
He said 6.
6, okay.
6 it is.
Okay.
6 out of 8 for him.
And Stephen says it's the worst race of the season. I don't think it's that bad, but...
Yeah. But, I mean, it wasn't necessarily one of the best, but...
No.
There was still some...
There was some good racing on track.
Albeit not many, but they were still good.
Exactly.
There were some good overtakes, especially through turns 1 to 3, like Joe, sort of stuff. And as you said, Luke, just really tactically interesting. It was a tactically interesting race.
Exactly that.
Oh, sorry, I can see you showing your tongue there.
Me?
Oh, is that your lip? Is that your tongue?
And on that note, I'm going to say thank you to Sarah.
Yes.
That wasn't my tongue, though. That was the lips of the mouse. Might be my chin.
Thank you to Sarah. And thank you to Pedro.
Isn't that time?
How have I ended up in this? On that note, thank you very much, you two. We're going to go for a raid on Floor Genius, and we'll be back at 11:30. We'll give or take a couple of minutes. So, thank you very much, you two, and all the people in chat. See you again, and hopefully see you later.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me, and it was actually good to be on this side of doing the driver ratings for the first time this season. I enjoyed it.
Good to hear, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. On that note, catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in a bit.